it seems like it's going to be a great group, and I'm excited about it. It's kind of funny, like there's things that we work on as like elite athletes and talk about, just like very simple things that I wish I could have leaned on myself as a young kid, just like even like accepting passes, keeping my hands away from my body, opening the blade at certain directions because of how the puck might spin around the boards on a rim, or just really simple little things that I've learned through basically putting in much more than 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys, you've read the Outliers book. But
Oh, yeah.
I think like learning all these things that I feel like I have the right answers, where I would have loved to lean on myself as a young kid going into that. So I think it's fun to be able to like pass that knowledge on. And like you said, I like dealing with the different personalities of the boys. Like my favorite thing is that there's a lot of boys that I got to kind of like bring them aside, be positive with. There's a couple that I need to kind of kick them in the butt a little bit, and sometimes my son is like that. So there's a good way to like kind of learn each individual. Oh, there's some guys that can't deal with that at all, right? So
right.
you gotta really like mosey into it. And I think learning each individual and how they tick has been just as fun of the process as a coach as teaching them all these little things that I've learned along the way. So, but I always try to reincorporate. A lot of times it goes through in one ear and out the other because they are 8 and 9, so it happens. But they do a great job of picking it up, and I think we've excelled really this year. So it's been fun. But I think just like the real little basics that I learned, and from there it's kind of actually helped me create a little device in hockey, which has been fun to see the kids use.
SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, June the 9th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, it's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals with the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drops at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with the Vegas Golden Knights feed on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 949. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, June the 9th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, it's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals with the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drops at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with the Vegas Golden Knights feed on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 949. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, June the 9th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL playoffs, it's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals with the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drops at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with the Vegas Golden Knights feed on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 949. Hurricanes on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 924. National feed on Sirius XM and Internet channels 91. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, June the 9th.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
New York Rangers legend and Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to share what it was like to play in the 1994 finals with the New York Rangers, as well as ending the 54-year drought for the franchise and how that team represented what a hockey team is all about.
Well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1994 as well. You mentioned Mike Keenan. We spoke with him in studio a couple of weeks ago. He still speaks so highly of you and of that run. So take us back to ending the 54-year drought. In Game 7, you get a power play goal. You shovel a puck underneath of Kirk McLean. Stands up as the game winner, as it turns out. So take us back to that hot, steamy night. What was it, June 14th of 1994 at the Garden in New York?
Just, I guess just starting, going to the rink, trying to keep your same routine. Brian Leach and I would always drive together down through Times Square, down Broadway 7th Avenue to take a right-hand turn on 33rd Street. And you could feel things were different, even from the Upper West Side. Just the vibe and the energy of the whole city was just electrified. Getting down towards Madison Square Garden, seeing the crowd already starting to build, the police officers surrounding the garden. It was a carnival-like atmosphere. Obviously, we knew we were something on the cusp of doing something that hadn't been done in 54 years. The magnitude of it was palpable. I mean, the energy, just everything just seemed to be so electrified. You try to keep yourself in the moment. You try to stay with your routine. Obviously, there's a much more at stake. And then, we found ourselves, much like we did in 87, up 3-1 in the series, losing to fifth game, where it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that New York Rangers were finally going to win a Stanley Cup after 54 years. Only to find ourselves the party atmosphere got a little bit delayed and then had to go back to Vancouver, which again, we got trounced in Vancouver, just like we did in 87. And now we're coming home for Game 7. And the same thing happened. We felt good about our chances. We felt we were a better team than Vancouver. We felt that we should have wrapped up the series earlier against Vancouver, but that's the greatest thing about sports. You can think all you want, but the reality is they got a heartbeat over there too. They got pride over there too. They're there for a reason because they're a great team. And here we are in Game 7 and happen to go out and execute a great game plan to beat a very hungry, very young, very physical, hard team to play against in Vancouver. And luckily for us, we had a lot of experience. We had a dynamic, incredible amount of talent with Brian Leach and Sergei Zubov, Alex Kovalev, Adam Graves and Mike Richter and net, and then sprinkled in with some veterans, some hardened veterans with McTavish and Tikkanen and Steve Larmer and Noonan and Mateau and Jeff Bukaboom and Jay Wells and all the amazing players that banded together that year to create maybe not the most skilled team that's ever won a Stanley Cup, but if you look up the word team, they could put the 1994 Ranger team right there, and that year, that team epitomizes what a team is all about.
Hear it all on demand. Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Trapp.
You're listening to NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM.
From high above ringside at T-Mobile Arena in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Tuesday, June 9th, 2026, and this is the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network. Hello again, everybody. Dan Duva, Gary Lawless, Game 4 of the Cup Final. Knights lead the best-of-7 series 2-1 after a double overtime victory in Game 3. Shea Theodore, the hero, at 5:38 of double overtime. And there's plenty to talk about. Game number 3, lots of historical moments. Bottom line, the Knights won, and they now have a record at T-Mobile Arena of 5-2 during the Stanley Cup Final. You have to go back to the end of 2018, the last time they lost the Cup Final game here at T-Mobile Arena. Gary, there is breaking news, however, we'll get to with the Carolina Hurricanes. Their regular starter, Freddie Anderson, who had started every playoff game thus far, 13-2 in 16 starts. He was replaced by Brandon Bussey for the third period in Game 3. Bussey suffered the double overtime loss. Bussey starts today. Not only does Bussey start, Freddie Anderson is scratched. Emily Kaplan of ESPN reports that Anderson is a healthy scratch, and there has been no injury designation So Brandon Bussey starts, and Pyotr Kochetkov, who's not played an NHL game since December, will be the backup. But Bussey, the rookie from Long Island, who had the goal allowed on the 19th shot he faced in double overtime, his first action in about 2 months. Gary, Brandon Bussey is the starter for Carolina today.
There was some talk earlier in the series that Freddie Andersen was tired. He's 37 years old. He had started all the games for the Hurricanes coming into the final, and then they've been pulled a couple times. Pulled again after the second period of Game 3. Vegas scored 4 goals in that period. Then he got hit by Ivan Barbashev. That was actually earlier in the second period on a goal that Jack Eichel scored. Barbashev came out of the corner. Anderson's head, like a turtle, poked out of the blue ice, and Ivan brushed by him and hit him in the head. Anderson has a history of concussion issues. So whether he's hurt or not hurt, or whether they're resting him, or whether when Rod Brind'Amour told him he was going with Bussey, Freddie said, fine, then put somebody else in the backup spot. We may never know. But I would suspect that if they weren't going to play him, they're resting him. Like, why put him through anything today if there is conversations about him being fatigued? The fatigue is more mental than anything else at this time of the year, and this is only Game 4. We don't know where this series is going from here. There could still be 4 more games, including tonight. So, maybe Rod Brind'Amour is taking a long look or a long lens in this situation and saying, if I'm not playing Freddie, I'm resting Freddie. And that might be a good decision.
Freddie Andersen was conspicuously absent from the Carolina bench after he exited the game. Oftentimes, even when a goaltender is pulled, he'll remain on the bench or near the bench or in the tunnel. He was not on the bench during overtimes. Brandon Bussey, of course, was the guy in goal. Again, normally the backups are on the bench. Andersen was not.
One of the media members said to me yesterday, they wouldn't let us talk to him. And, you can put in a request to speak to a guy. At this stage of the playoffs, the NHL brings players out, but players are available in the dressing room as well. It's a double whammy here in these situations. Reporters go into the dressing room. No one has talked to Andersen since he left the game at the end of the second period during Game 3. So, Brandon Bussey, it's one thing to come into a game when it's 4-0. There's no pressure. Well, if I let in another one, it's 5-0. Like, who cares? Well, he was perfect until he wasn't. And then when he did let in that other one, everyone cared because it was the overtime winner. Let's see how he deals with the pressure of 0-0 in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, where if he doesn't perform well and his team loses, they're down 3-1 in the final.
Bussey was very good in the regular season. He was really Carolina's number 1 goalie. He had never been in the National Hockey League until this year. AHL with the Bruins organization in Providence, signed a free agent contract with the Florida Panthers, but then was placed on waivers. Claimed off of waivers by the Hurricanes in October, but then won 31 of 39 games during the regular season. But Andersen was the guy in the playoffs, so Bussey's appearance in Game 3 was his first since the end of the regular season about 2 months ago. Down the stretch for Bussey, his record after the Olympic break, 8-3-1 in 12 starts, which is pretty good in terms of win-loss, but the underlying numbers a little bit more concerning. Goals against average at .316 and a save percentage at .865. How about this, Gary? Total times the entire year, Bussey allowed 4 goals or more 8 times. 4 goals allowed 8 times the entire year. But look down the stretch. Most of those games, 5 down the stretch. 5 of the last 12 games that he played, he gave up 4 goals or more. So the numbers toward the end of the regular season, not as great for Bussey, and perhaps one of the reasons why it was Freddie Andersen to start the playoffs.
Well, Carolina defends very well, and you should be 3 or less more often than not when you're the starting goalie for the Hurricanes. At the other end of the ice, it's Carter Hart for Vegas, as it has been in every playoff game this year. And we don't have a lot of time, but I'll leave you with this. Carter's got another level to get to, and I think he'll want to get there tonight.
He has surrendered exactly 4 goals in each of the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup Final, but he is now at 14-5, setting a new Golden Knights playoff record with 14 playoff wins. One better, of course, than Marc-Andre Fleury had in 2018. John Tortorella joins us next, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
What do you think makes the perfect snack?
It's gotta be when I'm really craving it and it's convenient.
Could you be more specific?
When it's cravenient.
Okay.
Like a freshly baked cookie made with real butter, available right down the street at AM/PM, or a savory breakfast sandwich I can grab in just a second at AM/PM.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, yeah, we're talking about what I crave.
Which is anything from AM/PM.
What more could you want?
Stop by AM/PM where the snacks and drinks are perfectly craveable and convenient. That's Cravenience. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
When accidents happen, the road gets rough. But for insurance companies standing in the way of justice, it's about to get bumpier. Because at Anthem Injury Lawyers, we don't back down. We fight harder, go farther, and never settle for less than you deserve. If they're not ready to play fair, they better buckle up. Anthem Injury Lawyers. Justice served, millions recovered. Call Anthem Injury Lawyers at 702-857-6000 or visit antheminjurylaw.com.
Back to the rink as Dan Duva catches up with Vegas Golden Knights coach John Tortorella.
In Las Vegas, the Golden Knights play Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, leading the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1. I'm Dan Duva with head coach of the Golden Knights, John Tortorella. John, are you still tired from game number 3?
Yeah, I don't know what I am about game number 3. It was one of the more interesting games I've been involved in.
Oh, God, I mean, to have a 4-0 advantage, everything looks to be going great, and then Carolina rallies, but you guys managed to win in double overtime. When you're going through it, you don't have the benefit of, boy, we're going to go win this game. What was it like, first to build the lead and then to see it dissipate?
Yeah, and again, I go back to our team. We just tried to stay calm. I haven't seen that happen in quite a while. 3 goals against you within 40 seconds. There was one breakdown, but we weren't playing badly up to that point. I really liked where we were in that period until that little section. So you have to flush it as quickly as possible. You're stunned a little bit, right? Because it happened so quickly, but you got to regroup. And I thought our guys did a really good job of that. I thought we played really well after that part of it. Throw one out of the building, get scored on at the end. As I said to him in between periods, things happen for a reason. This is supposed to happen. It's going to help us through the series if we find our way.
Yeah, and you say throw it out of the building, Theodore's penalty, and how appropriate that it's Shea Theodore, who, by the way, sets franchise record for minutes, and then scores the double overtime winner.
Yes, and the way he scores, right? It is that's what we always tell him in between periods when overtime comes. Just throw it down by the net, right? And I know Shea's trying to put it on net, but we get a lucky bounce off of him. And, fortunate to win it. As I said, find a way league. We found a way. It was a bumpy road. Now we get ready for Game 4.
What did you think when you found out that Braden McNabb could play?
Yeah, that's an inspiration, right? That's something I'll never forget. As I said, we've talked as a team. Some of the greatest memories when you go through 4 rounds, it's not so much the end goal. Of course, that's very important, right? That's what we're looking to get. But I think what you remember most is your journey. And what these athletes do, I have just so much respect for the athletes in the National Hockey League, what they have to go through. And I am very fortunate to have a front row seat watching this guy do what he's doing.
Keegan Colasar was our guest during part of the broadcast, and he was almost emotional talking about McNabb. It's a special moment, a galvanizing moment. You had talked about that review a couple days ago, and that might have been a galvanizing moment. Are there other galvanizing moments that you've experienced?
Well, I don't know. I think just how we ended up finding a way to win the other night after the bottom falling out from us. You're always looking for those type of moments when the players can get close with one another, and you see that dressing room in after an overtime win like that. That's galvanizing. That's something they're never going to forget. So, but Nabber, that's a pretty special one, and I think we're all pretty emotional about that because we were front row watching what happened to him. So
final, including one on a Mitch Marner goal, and then, of course, on Theodore's game-winning goal. I wanted to ask you about Mitch Marner because, by the way, record book rewritten, fastest hat trick. First 4-point period in 100 years in the Stanley Cup final. What does the coach see in that period for Mitch Marner?
Yeah, we've asked the guys that each game we have to get to another level as an individual player and as a team. I think Mitchie took it to heart, right? He brought his game to a whole different level the last game, not just that period, but throughout the whole game, because he knows we're going to need him. This Carolina team's a very good team. They're not going to go away. They're going to get better as the series goes. So that's kind of the mantra we have going in the room. We just need to get better each and every game as a player and as a team.
I wonder what you think about Torts with asking a player to go to the next level. There's competitive guys in that room. You want to maybe get better than your teammate. Hey, Mitch gets 4 points today, and maybe somebody else gets more points the next game.
That certainly goes on, and certainly not in a selfish way. But these athletes, we get the best athletes in the world in our game, right? And they haven't gotten there by not being competitive with their inner juices, within the locker room, against an opponent. They want to be the best they can be all the time, and that's why they find themselves in this spot here, playing in the fourth round. And yeah, that goes on. And they're still a teammate, and you're always going to have your back's teammate, but you want to try to be the best you can be too as you're watching another guy do it.
And the mindset of you don't have to be the guy every night, but you could be the guy any night.
Yeah, and I just think now with such short strokes left, right, in our season, in this series, that you're looking each and every shift, as far as I'm concerned, to try to be the best I can be. And I think if you do that, I think you have to have a little bit of selfishness, worrying about your game, and collectively do it as a team. That's where you get your team maybe over the hump. And same thing's going on the other side. We are so fortunate because we get great athletes in our game, and they're selfless, and it's just a blast to be around them.
What'd you think of Mark Stone playing with Eichel and Barbashev?
Yeah, I didn't think it was. It didn't go off the charts, but I thought they had some really good shifts. A little bit of adjustment as far as I think I'm going to stick with that. Had some good shifts.
It looked like they scored 2 goals, but neither one counted.
Remember, we scored 6 goals in that second period. 2 of them were just disallowed, and we had some breakaways. And I mean, penalty shot. Stoney on another breakaway. Mitch on another breakaway. So I mean, Jack scored a goal. Jack makes a great play in the power play. It's a really good line, and Stoney's a really good complement for Jack.
And on the blue line, maybe trying a couple guys in a couple of different spots. What did you think there?
We changed the pairs. We did with Raz and Hanny. We wanted to try to give them a different look, not playing with one another, try to help out some other pairs. But I thought we did a pretty good job. There was only it was a handful of minutes that we lost ourselves, and especially that 1 minute or less than 1 minute. But we had a lot of good minutes in that game. Now that game's over with. It's a really exciting game to be involved in. We were fortunate enough to win it. Now we got to flush that. We got to get ready to play Game 4.
If there's one thing we could be sure of, the crowd will be great again. What did you think of the atmosphere?
Yeah, and it's great for the league, right? These are the last 2 teams standing. I think both teams are putting on a really good show. It's not your typical playoff hockey with all these lean changes going on and all the goals being scored. Thought it was going to be a little bit tighter than it has been. I think that'll come into the series eventually, some of the tightness of the way both teams play defense. Great show for the league, great show for the fans. Just very fortunate to be part of it.
George, thanks so much. Best of luck.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That's John Tortorella. We're back with more in a moment. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, want to score free tickets? Green Valley Grocery is giving away multiple pairs of VGK tickets every month through December. More winners, more chances, more fans inside the Fortress cheering on the Knights. Download the Green Valley Grocery app and enter for your chance to win. Each game brings a new opportunity, only available through the app. Don't wait. Download the GVG app today and unlock exclusive rewards, surprise perks, and your chance at VGK tickets only from Green Valley Grocery.
There's a difference you can feel when you step into the showroom at Findlay Honda Henderson. Sure, our cars are beautiful, built to last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Findlay Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
It's time for Vegas Golden Knights hockey. Let's head to the booth with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Moments from hockey. Game 4, Stanley Cup Final. The Knights lead the best-of-7 series 2-1 following a double overtime victory here in Game 3. Brandon Bussey came on in relief of the starter Freddie Anderson in that game. And the late-breaking news today, Bussey not only is the starter, but Freddie Anderson is scratched. Apparently a healthy scratch, not injury-related. Regardless of the detail there, Bussey is definitely the starter. Pyotr Kochetkov will be the backup, and Carter Hart, of course, between the pipes for the Golden Knights. Before the rest of the starters, it's time for the Star-Spangled Banner.
And performed by Golden Pipes, Carnell Johnson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Audrey Adiola, and thank you, Carnell Johnson.
And we are set for Stanley Cup Final Game 4. Can the Knights take a 3-1 series lead against the Hurricanes? The Golden Knights start their second line. William Karlsson between Brett Howden and Mitch Marner, coming off a 4-point performance and a natural hat trick in Game 3. On defense, Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore each had multiple points in Game 3. Both have 5 points in the Stanley Cup Final. Theodore scored the double overtime winner. On the Carolina side, the third line starts. Jordan Stahl, the captain, between Nikolai Ehlers and Seth Jarvis. On defense, Keandre Miller and Sean Walker. And as discussed, the goaltending matchup, Carter Hart, who set a new franchise record with 14 playoff wins. He, of course, between the pipes today, his 20th postseason appearance with Vegas. Brandon Bussey on the Carolina side. He starts for the first time in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And since the expansion era began in 1968, only 2 other goaltenders have had their first career playoff start in the Stanley Cup Final. Most recently, Andrei Vasilevsky for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Game 4 of 2015, eventually losing to the Chicago Blackhawks. Underway in Game 4, Carolina wins it in its road white uniforms with red numbers and pants, black and red trim. Vegas in gold, attacking the net to our left. Pressure on the Carolina breakout. They do get through. Ehlers works around Theodore. Trying to pass it right, went off Jarvis's stick. He'll yank it around behind. Theodore, hard check in the corner on Ehlers. Miller pinches to get it on the far side. Knights get the puck. Bounces to center, but nobody could find a handle for the Knights. Theodore the quick up. Into the slot goes Howden. Bounces away. Carolina does get control. 30 seconds in. The Knights pretty aggressive here in the opening half minute with the Howden-Carlson-Marner line. And now comes Jack Eichel's line. Carolina enters right wing. Aho shoots, save. Deflected away by Carter Hart with his blocker. Another try deflects around toward the net, but wide. Chatfield pinches in. Lauzon lands a check on him. Eichel and Lauzon. Oh, another hard hit from Lauzon. Mark Stone picks up the puck on the near side of his own zone. Banks it ahead toward Eichel. It'll get by him for an icing. Minute gone in the first period. 0-0. Gary, we asked John Tortorella on the pregame show what he thought of Mark Stone playing with Jack Eichel and Ivan Barbashev, which we saw all of last game. It had been Pavel Dorofeev there for previous stretch. And Tortorella said simply, Stone is a really good compliment for Jack Eichel. And while Eichel does have 20 points in this postseason, he hasn't scored a goal in a while. None yet in this series. No goals in his last 5. And just 1 goal in the last 16. Carolina wins the draw. Chatfield shoots it wide. Rebound, score! Backhand rebound for Stankoven. Minute into game 4. The Hurricanes strike first. Logan Stankoven. Backhand shot from the top of the crease on a rebound. His 11th of the playoffs. And Carolina gets an early goal here at T-Mobile Arena.
Chatfield takes the shot from the point and goes wide, similar to what Shea Theodore did to win Game 3. He misses the net on purpose, I believe. Hart misses it. As it comes off the back wall, Carter takes his paddle, tries to swat it back into the net, into the corner. He misses it. Puck goes right to Stankoven. Easy flip of a backhand over Hart, who was out of position.
And you said it, Gary. Carter Hart, he attempted to make the correct play. He just didn't execute. He reached over with the stick, and it just went under the stick, and so it got in front, and Stankoven put it home. Here's another burst for Stankoven down the slot. Knights defending, and a whole big kick caboodle toward the net wide of the goal, but a penalty coming against the Knights. Stankoven pushing his way down the slot. A speedy and diminutive forward has been all over the first 90 seconds here, and the Knights are going to be shorthanded.
Las Vegas 27 minor penalty, tripping.
Shea Theodore to the penalty box for tripping Stankoven.
Miserable start to this game for the Golden Knights. They've given up a goal. Now they go to the penalty box. It's hard to tell what they called there. Theodore's stick was in the middle of all of that. He's shaking his head. I'm not sure if it was a trip.
The officials call it.
Yeah.
Jean Hebert and Garrett Rank, today's referees. Trent Knorr and Scott Cherry, the linesman. Carolina's in the power play. 1 for 2 in game 3. That was the 6-on-4 goal late that tied it 4-4. They've got 3 power play goals in the series, 10 in the playoffs overall. Today, their 17th game. Knights get a clear all the way down it goes. Carolina in desperation mode. Of course, they do not want to fall behind 3-1. Of course, the teams that have scored first have had those leads taken away in all 3 games. Carolina enters the zone on the right, and a feed up top tipped out of the zone by Colton Sissons. Of course, the Knights came from behind to win game 1 despite trailing by a couple of goals. They won it 5-4. And then the opposite happened in game 2. Knights led 2-0, but Carolina won it in overtime. Meanwhile, Vegas gave up a 4-goal lead in game 3, but still won. Stone, a steal, and a breakaway. Stone gets to the slot, save! Rebound, missed Carlson. Hanifin shoots it, but it's blocked over the goal. Carolina the other way. Power play time at 1:02. Svechnikov feeds the left, but it's booted by Aho. Returns it off the left wall. Seam pass right, Nikolai Ehlers. Lays it high to low. As Brandon Busty makes his first save here in game 4. Carlson pressuring Ehlers. Deflected puck goes to Aho. Walks in front, but a save by Hart. Rebound out of the corner. Off the stick and out of the zone. They'll make it to the Carolina side.
Vegas gets a change. Stone and Carlson, Hanifin way up ice. Had to go back and defend. Important change there.
Knights do have 4 shorthanded goals in the postseason. Carolina has not yet allowed one. Hurricanes to the offensive zone. Penalty at 25 seconds. Rink-wide pass went through the legs of Stankoven. Found by Blake. Passes to the far side. Howden and Lauzon defend there. Up top, Nikishin feeds back to the left wing. In the circle and up top again. A wrist shot from Nikishin. Knocked down in front. Jousting for it. Nikishin again feeds right. Ehlers, he shoots. Save. Rebound. McNabb couldn't clear the zone. Looked like he was trying to hand it off to a teammate. It didn't work. Now a backdoor pass. They score! Jackson Blake just as the penalty time expired. 2-0 Hurricanes. 3.5 minutes into game 4. Oh, the Knights had the puck. McNabb was in a position to clear the zone, but rather than making a hard clear right up the middle, he elected to try to hand it off to a teammate in close quarters, but nobody was prepared for that. Carolina managed to keep the puck in the zone, and Jackson Blake scores his 6th goal of the postseason. It will be an even strength goal. Carolina has 2 goals on 5 shots in the opening 3.5 minutes of the game.
Perfect pass, and what a finish from Blake. Taylor Hall slides it through the legs of Lauzon, and a great finish from Jackson Blake. Vegas is in a quick hole.
Blake had 3 power play goals in the regular season. That's his first in the playoffs, to go along with 2 power play assists. Knights to the attacking zone. Barbashev fed Eichel, but it's broken up. And out to neutral ice it goes. Carried ahead by Martinook. He delays, he shoots. Hannafin blocks it and goes out of the zone. Blake from Hall and Ehlers at 3:28. Again, it's an even strength goal just after the Carolina power play. Earlier it was Stankoven from Chatfield and Blake. So 2 points here for Jackson Blake. That's his 6th multi-point game this postseason. From the right wall, whipped across by Carrier, missed everyone in front. Dorofeev nudged it up the boards, but not out. From the point, Coghlan knocked down a shot. He couldn't find the puck. Kept alive by Martinook for Carolina. From the left corner, Stankoven fed the middle. Hall was tied up, and Carter Hart dives on the puck. He's got the whistle. Well, the Hurricanes have come to play, and unlike previous games when they could not get the early bounces, they certainly have here. And they had not scored a first-period goal since Game 1. Ehlers scored in the opening half minute. He scored again 12 minutes into Game 1. Carolina led 2-0 at that point. But, of course, the Knights rallied to tie it 3-3 and ultimately took a 5-4 win in Game 1.
Carter Hart allowed 3 goals on 3 shots 2 games in a row, I believe, Dan. And quick start here as well for Carolina.
Hurricanes win the draw. Left point shot came off the backboards and near the net. Carter Hart poked it away. From the sidewall, it's Mitch Marner to play it to Brayden McNabb, still wearing the cage, as he has now in both games since suffering a shot in the face by Nikolai Ehlers early in Game 2. Knights get it through center, tipped all the way in by Brett Howden. Charging into the trapezoid. Howden in pursuit of the puck collides with a couple of Hurricanes. Plays on the near boards, left wing side. Howden, Marner, and Carlson. Comes off the sidewall into the slot. Hurricanes get it and clear it. Ahead they go with Sebastian Aho. Gains the blue line, dumps it in. And the Hurricanes go for a change. Line change is brought to you by William Hill. 5 minutes into Game 4, Hurricanes lead at 2-0. Vegas breaks out. Sissons reels it in left side. Managing to stay on side with that lead pass. Sissons joined by Hurl near the left corner, and then Dorothea. Bouncing around, Lauzon pinches in. Lauzon trying to get it down toward the corner. Gas to spare. Trying to push it back up the boards. A couple of Hurricanes. Now it deflects to Anderson. He shoots high and wide. Rasmus Anderson in his first Stanley Cup final. No points yet in this series for number 4 on defense. Rasmus Anderson gets the puck back at the right point. Skates a stick, whacks it left toward Lauzon. Pursuit of the puck thwarted. Sisson centered on the doorstep. Dorothea couldn't get it by Bussey at the right post. Bussey, the rookie, had that left leg down, and Dorothea couldn't elevate. Hurricanes the other way. Stankoven shoots. Glove save. Rebound. Swept aside by Lauzon. Rebound right wall. Shot wide of the net by Sean Walker, the defenseman. Hurricanes still in the offensive zone with new players coming on. Walker out high on the right. Flings it low, but it escapes Eric Robinson. Left corner for the Carolina 4th line. William Carrier, stick lifted by Cole Smith. Keegan Colasar clears it out for the Knights. Cole Smith reaching, knocks it away from Miller. Cole Smith coming off a 14-hit performance, a Golden Knights record, and a Stanley Cup final record. Dylan Coghlan back at his own blue, works it up to the red, dumps it in. Slowed by Bussey, the goalie, behind the Carolina net. Pursuit comes on the near side, Colasar, and then Nick Dowd. 2-0 Carolina, 13:20 to play first period. Hurricanes clear the zone. It bounces near the Vegas line. Hannafin picks it up there. Forward to Dowd. Returns it back to the D. Coghlan and Hannafin play catch. Knights have indeed adjusted their D pairs. They changed them during Game 3, and they've continued with that change. Hannafin alongside Coghlan. Lauzon alongside Anderson. McNabb staying with Theodore. Hurricanes retrieve the puck, and out they go. Chatfield, the defenseman, gains the line and shoots. Blocker save. Rebound shot. Save again. Jordan Stahl firing from the left half wall. Stahl has goals in each of the first 3 games in this series. Knights get the puck. McNabb skating forward. Drops it backward to Theodore. Returns it ahead. Finds Stone behind the D. Fakes the slapper. Cuts in front. And he scores! Mark Stone! What a maneuver. Gets down the slot. Thought he would fire with the big slap shot. No, he faked it. And cut down to the right post. And from a sharp angle just right at the crease. Slides it behind Bussey. And the Knights pull within a goal. 12:38 to go in the first period. Mark Stone's 7th of the postseason. And now 4 goals in 6 games since returning from injury.
He's been loose twice tonight. Once on the short-handed effort, and then this time, you described it perfectly. Fakes the big slapper. Bussey bites. Stone finishes. And he started this play with a massive hit on Jordan Stahl at the other end of the ice. Captain on captain. Northwestern Ontario on Winnipeg, Manitoba. 2 big captains, 2 veterans. What a goal.
Both Vegas shots on goal belong to Mark Stone. Knights trail 2-1, 12:30 to go first period. Knights to the attack. Howden and Carlson get to the puck behind the goal. It squirts to the right flank. Anderson for Marner. He threw it across the slot but wide. Meanwhile, William Carlson hampered a little bit as he gets up out of the pile. Then Lausanne collides with Marner at center. Howden gets the puck from Anderson into the zone. Marner couldn't play it with his skate. It goes the other way for Carolina. Martinook fails to dump it in all the way. Hannafin cut him off. Hannafin out for Brett Howden. Leads his man right wing side. Conlon wards off a defender and shot it through the net mouth wide. Off the near board, Sissons. Checked by Martinook from behind. Battle on near side boards, Carolina defensive zone. Hall played it across the slot of his own end. Now diagonally out through center go the Hurricanes. Martinook right wing dumps it in. Carter Hart behind his net. Sets up the breakout for Dylan Conlon. Played it through center, but this will be an icing. The attempt to tip in by Sissons failed. He couldn't get a piece of the breakout pass from Conlon. Stone from Theodore and McNabb at 7:22. 7th goal of the playoffs for Stone, 12 points. And as I mentioned, in 6 games since returning from the injury absence, 4 goals, 1 assist. That is the 48th career postseason goal for the captain, Mark Stone. Most of those coming as a Golden Knight. First little bit of those coming as an Ottawa Senator. Knights win a D-zone draw following the icing. Hurdle won it. Hannafin lifts it to center. Gloved down by Nikishin. He dumps it back in. Knights get some players off. Carter Hart stops the puck behind for Noah Hannafin. Looking out to the right wing side, Dylan Conlon. Went over and back. It's an offside play against the Hurricanes. 11:20 to go in the first period. Carolina 2, Vegas 1. Stankoven at 1:06. Blake at 3:28. Just after a power play ended. And then Stone from Theodore and McNabb at 7:22 to get the Knights within 1. Timeout. Game 4, Stanley Cup Final. Knights lead the series 2-1, but Carolina leads Game 4 2-1. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Welcome to Win City, where a hat trick means more than just 3 goals in a hockey game. It's also when you reach 3 goals in life. You make the perfect souffle. You graduate with that diploma. You land your dream job.
For the hat trick, what a play!
Another great play is scoring the official credit card of the Vegas Golden Knights with exclusive perks and benefits for VGK fans. See if you pre-qualify at CreditOneBank.com. Terms apply. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, when we win, you win. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings is giving away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Golden Knights win a preseason, regular season, or playoff game. This Win for Wings promotion is valid for 2 days after each qualifying game at all B-Dub Sports Bar locations throughout the Vegas area. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including some of the best happy hour and late night prices Vegas has to offer throughout hockey season at your local Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
So, how can Enterprise pick Golden Knights fans up today? Well, say you want to take a playoff road trip. Enterprise has you covered. Or get a truck to haul your Golden Knights memorabilia to your new fan cave. Well, they do that too. Rent an exotic for a potential victory parade? Check. Well, what about buying any of the above? Yes, yes, and yes. Rent, buy, or share. Enterprise, official partner of the NHL, is the one place to go for every place life takes you.
Let's get back to Dan Duva and Gary Lawless for more Stanley Cup Finals action.
Golden Knights have scored in the first period, so free French fries tomorrow at McDonald's. Download the mobile app, get free fries of any size tomorrow at McDonald's, all because Mark Stone has delivered a first period goal for the Knights. But Vegas does trail 2-1, 11:20 to go in the first period. Carolina with a goal on its first shot, second time they've done that in this series. Nikolai Ehlers 25 seconds into game one. Action resumes after a centerized draw. Hurricanes dump it in down to our right. Vegas counters quickly, and the skates of Dowd lost it. Carolina finds the loose puck at center. The dump in toward the right wing. Robinson, Jankowski, and Carrier get it deep. Around to the left, Jankowski swirls it behind Robinson. Rasmus Anderson for the Knights leads it. This man to center, Cole Smith. He protects the puck in front of the Carolina bench, now dumps it in. Pursuit comes from Kolasar, lands a check. Cole Smith follows up. Dowd going for the puck at the right half wall. Sweeps it behind, has Cole Smith. Turning, he tried to center, but it went off his stick. Pinching in McNabb. Came off his stick. Cole Smith kept it in the zone, but only for a moment. It deflects out. Theodore trying to keep it going. But his pass went right to Jankowski, who dumps it in. On the way down, Carter Hart's back behind his net for Vegas. Nearing the halfway mark of the first period. Vegas trailing 2-1. Mark Stone from Theodore and McNabb. The pushback response for the Knights. Theodore rips it out to the far side of the neutral zone. Knocked away from Mark Stone. Carolina sends it back in. Seth Jarvis on the line with Jordan Staal and Nikolai Ehlers. They go to work back behind the Vegas net. Escaping on the right side. Jarvis curls at the right half wall. He shoots. Kick save. Rebound out at the left point. Ehlers threw it down low. Sharp angle shot saved by Hart. On to try out of the corner by Jacob Slavin. Vegas breaks out. Jack Eichel trying to lead the oncoming Barbashev, but end of a shift there. It's intercepted by Chatfield.
Great job by the Hurricanes in the neutral zone on that shift against Eichel and Stone.
Ahead come the Hurricanes. Puck was overhandled just a little bit by Jackson Blake. Knights converge on the puck, but they cannot clear it. Stankoven to Blake. Back to the right. Intercepted by Carlson. Lifts it out toward Howden. Hoping to catch a break. Hands it backward. Here's Marner. Sandwich. Puck then bounced over Carlson's stick. And a quick breakout pass. Offside play. Coghlan saved a breakaway. He got just a little bit of that puck, which forced the Hurricanes offside and negated what would have been a breakaway. Back to the O-zone. Marner to the line, has Lauzon. Lugs it toward the right circle. Down toward the right corner, Lauzon leaned on. Puck up top, Anderson. Smacks it along to Brett Howden. Works it around Jackson Blake to keep it in the zone. Centering pass attempt by Carlson. He fanned on it. Carolina gets the puck deep in its own zone, and the Knights start to back off. 9 minutes to go, first period, game 4. Carolina leads the game 2-1. Knights lead the series 2-1.
Good shift from those guys. Wow.
They have been the most productive of the Golden Knights lines in this series so far. Hurdle taps a loose puck out toward Dorofeev, swatted off his stick by Gostisbehere. Knights dump it in. Icing negated. Centering pass, Dorofeev shoots! Bussy the save! Colton Sisson centered out in the left corner after he negated the icing. Now a right wing shot, save! Tomas Hurdle fires from outside the right dot, and Bussy makes the stop. But the Knights fans here love that effort from the Vegas third line.
I think Dorofeev tries to go between his legs on this one, Dan. The way the puck was there, no, maybe not, but close.
He was trying to get it between his stick and the reach of Shane Gostisbehere. Dorofeev still without a point in the Stanley Cup Final. 10 goals and 4 assists overall. But early in series, he has not been as productive as late in series. Again, no points yet for Dorofeev here in the Stanley Cup Final. 8:16 to go in the first. Carolina 2, Vegas 1 in Game 4. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor, it's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
When it comes to luxury, no one does it better than Findlay Cadillac in the Valley Auto Mall. From the exceptional crossover XT4 to the superb CT sedan and Escalade, the highest standards in automotive craftsmanship are found at Findlay Cadillac. To place your order, visit our award-winning showroom and choose from our full inventory of new and certified pre-owned vehicles that are available for immediate delivery. Or visit us online at FindlayCadillac.com to place your reservation. If you're thinking Cadillac, think Findlay Cadillac in the Valley Auto Mall.
Boomer Sportsbook is the place to bet the Stanley Cup Final with the power play of new promotions. Score bonus bets with Captain Clutch, Shutout Insurance, Misfits Markets, and the popular Vegas First Period bonus is back, but better. Just bet $20 or more on the Vegas money line, and if Vegas scores in the first period of that game, you'll get $10 in bonus bets. And now, if one of the Misfits scores in the game, you'll get $10 more in bonus bets. Download the Boomers app and activate it in 2 minutes at any Boomer Sportsbook in Nevada. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions available at betwithboomer.com. Please bet responsibly.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally, take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2026 KBB.com best value brand. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 5.49% APR on a 2026 Civic. Hurry into your Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic SI and Type R. Based on 2026 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Hurricanes 2, Golden Knights 1. 8:16 to play first period. Ozone draw coming for the Knights. Vegas' top line is out there. Stone, Barbashev, and Eichel. And draw on the right. Stone to take the face-off against Jordan Staal, but now Staal is tossed. Ehlers against Stone. Bussey watching to his left. Carolina wins the face-off. Airborne clear. McNabb gloves it down to himself. Backward to Theodore. Forward to Stone. Left wing Barbashev off his stick into the air. Eichel tried to glove it, but it fluttered over his reach. Staal dumps it in for Carolina. Far side left wing. Knights get it out of the corner. Cannot clear it though. From the left point. Thrown back down low off his stick. Eichel collects. From the far circle, he starts it out for Stone. Tried to nub it along for Barbashev, but not quite in sync there. Chatfield sends it the other way. Theodore going back behind his net. Looks out to the near side as Barbashev. Ivan delays with new players coming on. Barbashev nearly gave it away. It went off Marner, off the stick. We got a whistle. Too many men on the ice.
Carolina has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Knights were changing.
Yeah.
Vegas penalty, bench minor, too many men on the ice.
As I said, the Knights were changing. Barbashev stayed out there. Marner had come on. They were trying to get the puck deep to the offensive zone. And the Knights whistled for too many men. Second minor penalty against Vegas today. Earlier, there was a breakaway opportunity for Stankoven. And Theodore was whistled for tripping Taylor Hall. It was sort of a 2-on-2 tight rush. And that's what led to the first penalty against the Knights. And here it's a too many men call against Vegas. Carolina's second power play of the game. They did not score on the first one. They scored 4 seconds after the penalty ended. So power play aided goal for the Hurricanes, even though it's technically even strength. They work the perimeter right here. Aho on the right side. Up top, Gostisbehere, the lefty. Back to the right circle. Aho backs off. Sends it out high. Wrist shot. Knocked down in front. They score on the rebound. Jordan Staal with goals in all 4 games in the final. Carolina 3, Vegas 1. Jordan Staal found the loose puck top of the crease. Gostisbehere with a wrist shot. I'm not sure if it ever got through to Carter Hart. It hit something in front and it lay at the top of the crease. And the Knights could not get to the loose puck before the Carolina captain. 3-1 Hurricanes, 7:12 to go in the first period.
Jordan Staal all over Carter Hart on this one.
Yeah, it did get to Carter Hart after all, Gary. Came up near his left shoulder. And it flopped right down in the perfect spot for the captain of the Hurricanes, Jordan Staal.
He's been their best player, and that's no slight. You might say, hey, if he's their best player, they're not going that great. I disagree. He's been very good.
He has 6 goals in the playoffs. 4 of them have come in the Stanley Cup Final.
Yep.
Think about that. He only had 2 goals in the first 3 series combined, and now he's got 4. 1 in each of the Stanley Cup Final games, throwing an assist in Game 3 as well. 7 minutes to go in the first period. Knights trail 3-1 in Game 4. Knights lead the series 2 games to 1. Knights still have only 4 shots. Carolina has a couple of power plays. 1 power play goal, and again, it's an even strength goal that was 4 seconds after a previous power play. So technically not a man advantage goal, but they did have an extra guy out there in essence. Now another shot. Save! Carter Hart stops Stankoven at point-blank range. Knights get the puck the other way. Here comes Brett Howden across the center ice. Gains the line left wing. Carlson out of the left corner, banks it around. Stone picks it up. Stone tried to center for Howden, but that careens off a Carolina stick and all the way down. Well, the Hurricanes in the regular season had the NHL's fourth best power play. 60 power play goals, 2 more than the Knights had. 58 was a Vegas franchise record. Shows you some sense of how good the Carolina power play was in their regular season. But in the playoffs, they only had 7 power play goals total in the first 3 rounds. There's a whistle in the neutral zone. Again, the Hurricanes only had 7 total power play goals in the playoffs before the final. Now they've got 4 in the final, plus another one, as we just said, that was power play 80.
They have come alive at the right time and have been. Jordan Stahl's been at the center of it. Winning draws, causing havoc in front of the net. He's immovable. They can't get him out of the slot.
Yeah, the other side of it is the Knights had only surrendered 6 power play goals the entire postseason. And now, again, they've given up 4 in 4 games here in the playoffs. In the Stanley Cup final, I should say. 6 minutes to go in the first. Hurricanes lead 3-1. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Since 1981, we've been raising every glass, serving all Nevada, making good times last. From wine to whiskey, beer and more, find your favorites at every store. Lee's Discount Liquor, Nevada's place to go. Biggest selection, prices you love. 23 stores across the Silver State, serving Nevada since 1981. Lee's Discount Liquor, where Nevada celebrates.
Wow Car Wash is the official car wash of your Vegas Golden Knights. Born in Vegas just like the Knights, Wow Car Wash has 18 convenient locations across the valley. Wow gets you in and back on the road. Looking championship ready with our Wow Max with Knights Defense Wash. Wow knows to be the best, you have to look your best. Be sure to follow Wow Car Wash on Instagram for exclusive deals, promotions, and giveaways. For a list of all locations, visit wowwash.com.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to americafirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
Hurricanes lead 3-1. 4 goals combined in the first period after we saw no goals in the first period of Game 3. Hurricanes get the puck out of their own zone. Theodore grabs it at his own blue. McNabb to the right. Steered in by Sissons. But then Dorofeev checked off the puck on the entry. It's lifted the other way by the Hurricanes. Slavin, the defenseman, gets it all the way down, and out of the corner, he's centered off the stick. Held in the shot attempt, deflected wide. Aho filling in at the center point, let that one go, but missed. Puck in the near side corner. Damp took it away from Svechnikov, and the Knights get it up to the Carolina Blue. Knights changing personnel. Sisson centered for Dorofeev. Knocked away. Dorofeev trying to get it back on the left side goal line, but Hurricanes clear it out. Line change brought to you by William Hill. Now defensively, you've got Noah Hannafin and Rasmus Andersson together. Those guys have been separated during Game 3 and to start today, but at least for this shift, they're back together. Knights' fourth line now up front. Kolasar, Dowd, and Cole Smith. Knights get it in. Knights changing defensemen now. On come Dylan Coghlan and Jeremy Lauzon. So it looks like the Knights have changed defensive pairs. Given up 3 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game. Carolina gets it in. Lauzon and Coghlan coming back. Coghlan knocked it around the boards, but it goes to the left half wall where Carrier shot it wide. Taken off the right wing. Jankowski put it to the corner. Picked up out of the corner by Dowd, but he's double teamed. 4:25 to go in the first period. 3-1 Carolina. Skied to center by Lauzon, and Hobson skids to the Carolina side. No icing. Quick up by Sean Walker. That is an icing against the Hurricanes.
Carolina playing a more simple game than the Golden Knights right now. They're not fooling around with the puck at the offensive blue line. If it's not an opportunity to get a clean rush, they dump it in. And go to work, and Vegas has turned the puck over at the offensive blue line or in between the blue lines a whole bunch of times already this period, and it's cost them.
Knights still have just 4 shots, 2 of them from Stone. One of them was a goal, the other was a shorthanded rush. Knights win a left circle faceoff. Marner to the point, McNabb. He shoots, tipped, and it grazed the right post. Stays in play on the far side. Battle at the right half wall. Worked loose, taken by Vegas. Theodore to the point, Marner. And then he'll sweep it down into the left corner. Hurricanes get it out of the corner. Marner busting in with Howden, but the Hurricanes do clear. Theodore back at his own blue, scanning ahead. Finds his man up the middle. It's tipped all the way in by Brett Howden. Hurricanes retrieve. Carlson goes in on the forecheck. Hurricanes started back ahead. Carlson, though, knocked it away from Chatfield. Has some support with Walker, who blasts it around. This will go all the way down for an icing. Forecheck by William Carlson forces Carolina to commit the icing. Down to 3:28 to go in the first period. Hurricanes lead at 3-1.
William Carlson just refused to give up on that shift and kept working, and he's a better skater than Chatfield, and eventually victimized him.
Carolina wins the defensive zone draw. Logan Stankoven winning that face-off. His teammates cleared the zone. Jarvis hacks it in. Anderson and Hannafin go back. And now they start off ice. Hannafin left wing. Rips it forward off Stone stick, then off Eichel sticking in. Eichel gets it down to the left corner. Burrows in behind the net, still with the puck. Up top, Anderson fakes the drive. Now he's centered. Off Stone stick and out the back door. Trying to redirect it. Oh, and then Stone got a stick in the face. Play continues. Hannafin left point. Hannafin high to low. Eichel and Stone are down in the left corner. Eichel up the boards. Left point Hannafin shoots. Hit a body in front. Rebound blocked. Chatfield blocks the rebound shot by Stone. Counter by Stankoven for the Hurricanes. Blake finds the puck. Beats right in the drive. Over the net by Taylor Hall. Off the glass, out to the left point. It stays in. Hall to the slot. A one-timer blocked wide. Off to the near boards. Picked up by the Knights. And then Hertl draws a penalty. The stick was slashed out of his hands by Taylor Hall. And Vegas will be going to the power play. Both the referees shot their arms up right away.
Carolina 71 minor penalty slashing.
John Hebert whistles Taylor Hall for the penalty, and the Knights will get their first power play in Game 4, trailing 3-1. 2:28 to go in the first period. Knights were 1 for 2 in Game 3. 1 for 9 in the series.
Golden Knights' big line was on the ice just prior to that. They're all over at the bench trying to get some oxygen and catch their breath.
And I said it was Hertl who had the stick slashed from his hands. Gary, it was Barbashev.
Yep.
Not Hertl.
48 and 49, they look the same.
From the catbird seat.
Yep.
Hertl scored power play goal in Game 3, assisted by Marner and Eichel. And Hertl takes the draw here. It ends up on the stick of defenseman Keandre Miller. Cranks it around, not out. Held in by Dorofeev. Toward the goal, save! Hertl trying to redirect. Brandon Bussey stays with it. Now goes the 5th shot for the Knights in this period, compared to Carolina's 13. 8 seconds off the penalty timer.
Jordan Stahl has thwarted the start of the Golden Knights power play by winning so many draws. Eichel's going against them right here on the right side.
Stahl won 18 out of 27 in Game 3.
That's pretty good.
Hurricanes won 59% of the faceoffs in Game 3. 54 out of the 91. Carolina gets the puck again after the icing and clears it down. Side of his net, Carter Hart. Marner leads Eichel, charging through center. Eichel across the blue line, swings it around. Hertl waiting for it, tips it to the slot. Marner delays, feeds left, but Eichel was caught on his wrong side. Puck goes in behind Hertl. Rims it right, there's Dorofeev. No points yet in the final for Pavel Dorofeev, who had 20 power play goals in the regular season. And here in the playoffs, he's got 4. Carolina gets the loose puck, though, and clears it down again. Marner to the neutral zone. Handled there by Jack Eichel. Curls slowly, now accelerates ahead, up through center, feeds right. Stone lost it inside the blue line. Hurricanes tip it back the other way.
I think these guys are gassed. They're changing them up now.
Minute to go in the power play with Taylor Hall in the box for the Hurricanes. Knights trail 3-1. Minute 20 to go in the first. There's about a 28-second differential from the game clock to the penalty clock. Carlson sets up Howden for the entry. Barbashev tucks it to Theodore straight on. Feeds it right. Anderson, he shoots. Glove save, no rebound. Well, Theodore was straight on, but elected to pass to the wing. Bussey, the goaltender, catches with his right hand. So perhaps thinking from the right wing. Can't make a glove save over at the short post. Normally, goalie does have the glove on that side, but obviously Bussey, one of the rare goaltenders who catches with his right hand. Rasmus Andersson in the regular season, Calgary and Vegas combined 6 power play goals, 7 power play assists. The Knights have leaned on their top unit here in the postseason, so the second group hasn't had any looks. Carolina gets another face-off win on the kill, and they clear it all the way down. Penalty kill in the regular season for the Hurricanes was 11, and just over 80%, but in the playoffs, nearly 92%. They've only given up 5 power play goals all postseason, just 1 to the Knights, which was last game. Minute to go in the period. Final minute brought to you by Credit One. From the left corner, William Karlsson helps it around to Rasmus Andersson. Karlsson joins him deep on the right wing, far side. Howden lands a check, takes the puck. Centers. Barbashev shot blockered away. Rebound Theodore to the corner. Karlsson turns away from the check. Karlsson on his backhand, try to cut in front. Lost the puck. Howden couldn't find it. Hurricanes clear. Out of the box comes Hall. He can't get a shot off cleanly as Carter Hart makes the save. Rasmus Andersson doing his best to stay with Hall out of the box. And Carter Hart makes the save. And so the Knights' power play unsuccessful, but they at least avoid what was a breakaway opportunity for Taylor Hall. Right out of the box, the lefty made a couple of dekes, but ran out of space, and Carter Hart makes the stop.
It's a big-time save by Carter Hart. He gets the right pad out and seals off that post for Taylor Hall, who was being pestered at the last minute by Theodore. I think he gets a little bit of stick on it. He gets the knob of his stick down on the ice and his pad backing it up. Good job by Carter to keep it at 2 goals.
Yeah, the key there was that he didn't bite on the fake. Yep. But he moved to the backhand, but then came back to the forehand. Taylor Hall made a great fake, but Carter Hart was not faked out. So, 3-1 Carolina. Vegas power play 0 for 1. Hurricanes power play 1 for 2. Carolina wins the draw, but they give the puck away. Poked ahead by Dowd. 15 seconds to go in the period. Hurricanes can't clear. Sissons hands it off as he was stood up left side. Put out to the line, down to McNabb. Back to Dowd, 5 seconds. Dowd scampering out high. Hands it off. Hanifin has to shoot through it across. They score! Doesn't count! The referee signals good goal. A buzzer beater for Brayden McNabb. The clock runs out on the first period, and it appears as though the Knights are within 1. The puck was in before the light went on. The officials will conference and find out if in fact it was across the line before the clock ran out. I'm not so sure.
It's not going to count, I don't think, Dan.
The play is under review to see if the puck crosses the goal line before the period expires.
McNabb with the one-timer, but it might have been too late.
I think he's a beat late.
The light behind the goal had not gone on, but that's not the determining factor. They've got an overhead camera synced with the game clock, and that's what they will examine to determine if the puck crossed the line before the clock hit 000. It's close, but I think it's too late.
Here we go.
After review, the clock hits 0 before it crosses the goal line. Therefore, no goal.
Another goal disallowed in this series for the Vegas Golden Knights. A good call. It definitely is no goal, but they have had a lot of this happen to them.
The Knights, of course, did not like the call that went against them in Game 2, the game that the Hurricanes eventually won in overtime. Vegas thought it had taken a 3-2 lead. Puck was underneath Freddie Anderson. There was a challenge by the Golden Knights, but the call on the ice stood. Because of the failed challenge, the Hurricanes got a power play and scored. Went up 3-2 in Game 2. Knights tied it 3-3, forced overtime, but the Hurricanes won it anyway. That was the one that I think the Knights are still upset about. The other goals that have come off the scoreboard for Vegas were all the right calls, including this one. Twice in Game 3, goals came off the scoreboard. First it was Stone, challenge for offside, and then it was Eichel, challenge for goaltender interference. I think that an objective observer would consider those two and this one correct calls by the officials. It's only the one from late in Game 2 that I think the Golden Knights would still quibble with even after the explanation from the league. So it's Carolina 3, Vegas 1 after 20 minutes of play. Stankoven, Blake, and Stahl, the 3 Carolina goals. Stahl's was on the power play. Blake's was 4 seconds after a power play ended. So a power play aided goal, even though it came at even strength. Stone, who had a shorthanded breakaway but could not score, did score on a breakaway at even strength. Stone 7th from Theodore and McNabb. And that is the only goal of the first period for the Knights. Thought they had scored one, but Braden McNabb was just a beat late after the first period clock ran out. So the goal taken away from McNabb, even though he celebrated with his teammates. Let's go downstairs to the Golden Knights dressing room, and let's welcome Golden Knights defenseman Shea Theodore to the broadcast. Hi, Shea. It's Dan and Gary in the booth. Thanks for joining us. What'd you make of today's first period?
Yeah, not good enough. We lost too many battles, and resulted in our net. So, we got to fix a couple things.
Pretty great pass by you to Mark Stone on his goal. Tell us what you saw there.
Yeah, it was a good move, good play by Stoney, kind of cutting across and finding an opening.
Shea, their power play is having some success right now, and yours isn't. How do you flip that special teams battle?
I think we just got to work harder. We had a couple of chances on our power play there late, but just keep bearing down.
Shea, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Shea Theodore from the Knights dressing room. And naturally, Gary, the Knights have faced multi-goal deficits before. They have held multi-goal advantages and coughed them up in this series. No lead has been safe. And while the Knights trailed 2-0 and scored, now they trail 3-1. We'll see how things unfold. But unlike pretty much any other Stanley Cup final game when you'd expect a multi-goal lead would be pretty secure, you almost figure that the team that's trailing almost has the momentum.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure you ever want to be in that position. But for me, one thing that has to change, Vegas is getting crushed in the special teams battle right now. They got to figure out a way to stop Carolina's power play or not take any penalties and start to get their power play going, because it's, 5-on-5 is one thing. They are calling penalties in this series. You can't lose a special teams battle. It'll cost you games.
In Game 3, each team was 1 for 2 on the power play. Again, there's only one power play goal in today's game. Hurricanes 1 for 2. But again, they scored a goal just after their power play ended.
Yeah, and it's not so much the end result as much as Carolina's got the puck in the Vegas zone the whole time when they're on the power play, and conversely, Vegas is chasing the puck behind Carter Hart, behind his net all the time on the kill. And Shea said it right. They're losing battles. They're losing battles on the power play for sure.
Golden Knights have 8 comeback wins in the playoffs when down by 2 goals in team history. A couple of those 8 comebacks have been this postseason. You remember, of course, Game 3 against Colorado, the Knights were down by 3, came back to win. And then in Game 1 of this very series, as we just described, Knights were down several goals. It was 2-0 Carolina. Knights then took a 3-2 lead, only to have the Hurricanes tied at 3-3. Vegas went up 4-3. Hurricanes tied at 4-4. But then the Knights won at 5-4. That was Tomas Hertl with the game winner. Tomas also had the game winner in the other big comeback when the Knights trailed by 3 against Colorado. Came back to win that one. Again, the score here after 20 minutes in Game 4. Hurricanes 3, Knights 1. Brandon Bussey making his first career playoff start. Freddie Anderson, who had started the first 16 consecutive playoff games for Carolina, a scratch today. Anderson pulled after 2 periods in Game 3. Bussey came on in relief, stopped 18 shots in a row, but not the 19th. Knights won in overtime. Bussey gets the start today, his first career playoff start. Bussey has stopped 5 out of the 6 Vegas shots. Carter Hart has stopped 11 out of 14 Carolina shots. Carter has given up exactly 4 goals in the first 3 games of the series and has already given up 3 here today. Again, it's Stone from Theodore and McNabb at 7:22. That is the only Vegas goal. Stankoven, Blake, and Stahl, 3 goals for Carolina. We'll be right back with the intermission report and Ryan Wallace, presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The biggest names in the game.
Kudrov, score! The Lightning win it!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter. It matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm. 444-4444.
Calling all Vegas Golden Knights fans, hockey season is back, and the RTC Game Day Express is your hassle-free ride to victory. Catch a direct, fast ride to VGK home games at T-Mobile Arena from 6 convenient spots for just $4 round trip. No traffic stress. Leave the driving to us. Visit rtcsnv.com/Game Day Express for details. Follow us on social media at RTCSNV for a chance to win tickets to VGK home games.
Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneShopRoofShop.com. Commercial or home, we can do what you need. Helping build this community. Big or small, there's nothing we can't do. We're the most preferred roofer and we're here for you. Reliable service and a brand you can trust. Visit OneShopRoofShop.com.
Hey Vegas, hungry for game day? Nacho Daddy, proud sponsor of your Vegas Golden Knights, has you covered with winning specials. Suit up for the return of the Golden Knight Nachos, stacked with marinated filet mignon, gooey cheese, and all the fixins. And here's the power play. Show us your game day ticket and your first Daddy's Margarita is on us. Celebrate 9 seasons of Vegas-born greatness with Nacho Daddy. Never a dry chip, always a great time. Visit us after the game and unite the realm. Must be 21 or older for margaritas. Please drink responsibly.
The legendary El Cortez Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas's original downtown hotspot since 1941. Play the slots, hit the tables, sip on classic cocktails, and enjoy hospitality the old school way. Experience the perfect mix of vintage Vegas charm and modern excitement that can't be found anywhere else. Whether you're here to stay, play, or dine, the good old days of Las Vegas are alive and well at El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to AmericaFirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Here's Ryan Wallace with the intermission report on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, we know you do anything for a win and a nice cold Bud Light, because whether you're cheering in the arena or parked on the couch, the clean and crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. Bud Light, easy to drink and easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. It's the intermission report. The Carolina Hurricanes up 3-1 on the Vegas Golden Knights after the first period of play here in game number 4. An interesting period. Obviously, you knew Carolina would be desperate. They get 2 goals in the first 3.5 minutes of the game. Logan Stankoven, puck pops out to him on top of the crease, and then Jackson Blake, a nice backdoor feed from Taylor Hall. However, the Golden Knights would get on the board and cut that 2-goal lead to 1 with Mark Stone's 7th of the postseason.
Drops it backward to Theodore. Returns it ahead. Finds Stone behind the D. Fakes the slapper. Cuts in front, and he scores! Sharp angle just right at the crease. Slides it behind Bussey, and the Knights pull within a goal. 12:38 to go in the first period. Mark Stone's 7th of the postseason.
Mark Stone from Shea Theodore and Braden McNabb, 7 minutes, 22 seconds into the first period, made it 2-1 Carolina. The Hurricanes would restore their 2-goal lead with a power play goal from their captain, Jordan Staal, at 12:48 of the first period, and 3-1 is where we are after the opening 20 minutes. Take a break, come back with more in a moment. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you. But we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Your Vegas Golden Knights try to elevate hockey to an art form. Similarly, the team at Toshiba America Business Solutions empowers the art of business with award-winning copiers, printers, document management solutions, and digital signage that help you engage and delight your customers. As an official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights, Toshiba America Business Solutions works overtime to make you and your documents look good. And with the best service in town, you'll never find your business in the penalty box. Look for us at business.toshiba.com. Toshiba, official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
At Access, we believe that music and sports are best enjoyed live and in person. That's why we're passionate about providing fans with tickets to the hottest sporting events and concerts around the world, including right here in Vegas. The Access ticketing app is safe, simple, and secure, and you can find it in the App Store for iOS or the Google Play Store for Android. Or visit us at Access.com to find tickets to your next unforgettable live experience. That's AXS.com. Access, your ticket to Las Vegas.
Hey, Golden Knights fans, when we win, you win. That's because Buffalo Wild Wings is giving away 6 free wings with a $10 minimum purchase anytime the Golden Knights win a preseason, regular season, or playoff game. This Win for Wings promotion is valid for 2 days after each qualifying game at all B-Dub Sports Bar locations throughout the Vegas area. Get your 6 free wings on top of great drink specials, including some of the best happy hour and late night prices Vegas has to offer throughout hockey season at your local Buffalo Wild Wings, a proud partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Back to Ryan Wallace for his Stanley Cup Final Intermission Report.
The Vegas Golden Knights Foundation supports exemplary Las Vegas nonprofit organizations that make a positive impact in the local community with a focus on 5 pillars: youth, sports, health and wellness, education, first responders and veterans, and hunger and homelessness. For more information on the Vegas Golden Knights Foundation or to make a donation, visit vegasgoldenknights.com/community. The Intermission Report: the Golden Knights trail the Carolina Hurricanes 3-1 after the first period of play. Stats of the period are presented by Foley Family Wines. Shots 14-6, the edge to Carolina. Hits 18-12 in favor of Vegas in the opening 20 minutes. Carolina 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Vegas 0 for 1 on the power play. The Hurricanes charged with 6 giveaways, a single takeaway, 3 block shots. Vegas 6 giveaways, a single takeaway, and 5 block shots. And obviously not the start the Vegas Golden Knights were looking for. They behind the 8 ball, 2-goal lead for Carolina, 3.5 minutes into the game. The first goal is just a play from Jalen Chatfield. He throws it to the wide of the net. It goes off the backboard. Carter Hart looks to make a play on it with his paddle. He misses the puck, and it goes right to Logan Stankov. And then you get a backdoor feed off of a failed clear from the Golden Knights penalty kill. It's not a power play goal, but it's power play aided. And then the other strike from Carolina is a power play goal from Jordan Staal. He has been the elixir for Carolina on the man advantage in this series. The Golden Knights have to find a way to stop Jordan Staal from putting in power play goals. Here we go. Second period, the Golden Knights have been really, really good in this series. They're going to need a big second period to get themselves back into the game. Should also mention Braden McNabb puts the puck in the back of the net just a beat after the final horn in the first period, so another goal comes off the board for the Golden Knights in this series. Second period action's coming up next. Dan and Gary, they've got the call. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup Playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
The legendary El Cortez Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas's original downtown hotspot since 1941. Play the slots, hit the tables, sip on classic cocktails, and enjoy hospitality the old school way. Experience the perfect mix of vintage Vegas charm and modern excitement that can't be found anywhere else. Whether you're here to stay, play, or dine, the good old days of Las Vegas are alive and well at El Cortez Hotel and Casino.
Going on vacation? We're here for it. With kids who turn the back seat into a courtroom drama over whose tablet is louder, whose charger is faster, and why watching the same cartoon for the 100th time is a human right? Yep, we totally have vehicles to handle that. Because whether it's a road trip or a business trip, where your flight's delayed, your phone's at 2%, and your dinner, whatever's open, yeah, here for that too. Enterprise, we're here for it.
I feel like I'm getting robbed when I bet the Stanley Cup on a sports book.
Dude, delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket.
Polymarket?
Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for greedy sports books.
Even during the Stanley Cup?
Especially during the Stanley Cup. Polymarket is an official prediction market of the NHL.
No way. What's the catch?
No catch. And it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade.
I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code EPIC for $50 free on your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code EPIC for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code EPIC. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Broker license number 1001607.LLC.
You gotta go Galindo.
I'm Josh Galindo, owner of Galindo Group Real Estate. We're not just a real estate company, we're a lifestyle brokerage with over 20 years of experience. When you work with us, you get more than a realtor. You get an entire team dedicated to creating an experience you'll love. From start to finish, we make buying or selling your home smooth, fun, and completely stress-free.
You gotta go Galindo. 702-820-HOME.
GalindoGroupRealestate.com.
Back to the Stanley Cup Finals as the Golden Knights take on the Hurricanes. Live of ringside at T-Mobile Arena in fabulous Las Vegas. Stanley Cup Final Game 4. Knights lead the series 2-1. Hurricanes lead the game 3-1. 4 goals combined in the opening period. That's 3 consecutive regulation periods in which the teams have combined for 4 goals. That has only happened in the Stanley Cup Final once before. The Islanders and the Flyers in 1980. From period 2 of Game 5 to period 1 of Game 6. Islanders, of course, victorious. And in this one, Jordan Staal, a goal with each game. And Jordan Staal becomes the 4th player in the expansion era to record a goal in the first 4 games of the Stanley Cup Final. Johnny Busick, Steve Payne, Mike Bossy, the other 3. All over 40 years ago. Underway in the second period, Carolina leads 3-1. Brandon Bussey between the pipes for Carolina, his first career playoff start. The rookie out of Western Michigan, a Long Island native. Carter Hart and goal down to our left for the Knights. Vegas trying to get the puck out of its own zone. It tumbles in behind the Vegas net. McNabb and Theodore defend. McNabb lands a check on the near corner boards. Puck comes up the wall. Picked up by Mitch Marner. Slides it to center, but behind the target, Brett Howden. Down as far as the Carolina sideline. And it's Sean Walker to flip it the other way. McNabb into his own end to retrieve the puck for the Knights. Vegas was outshot 14-6 in the opening period. Stretch pass goes left wing for the Knights. Barbashev delays, gets down to the corner, joined by Eichel. Eichel throws it back up top, Hanifin. Cross to the slot, Stone shovel shot over the net. Eichel picks it up left corner. Eichel, the head fake, comes up the boards, turns and shoots, blocked. It ends up near the right goal line. Anderson threw it in front, off the stick, and the Hurricanes clear it back out. Golden Knights have been excellent in the second period, not only in the postseason overall, but in this particular series included. Hurricanes coming right to left. They'll dump it in, courtesy defenseman Jalen Chatfield. In the playoffs overall, the Knights are plus 12, 23-11. Plus 12 is the best second period differential. In goes Blake, cuts in front, saved by Hart. Stays with the attempt to stuff at the long post. Jackson Blake started left to the crease, trying to go across the net mouth and tuck it in at the right post, but Carter stayed with Jackson Blake, who has 2 points today. and 18 points in the postseason. Knights send it in. Hurricanes are back. Cleared back the other way. Theodore inside his own blue. Turns and rips it forward. Into the zone goes Tomas Hertl. Steers it to the corner. Sissons, a centering pass blocked by Gostisbehere. Intended for Dorofeev, looming in front.
A great stick by Gostisbehere there.
Chipped the other way by the Hurricanes and all the way in. Opening 2 minutes, second period. Hurricanes in the lead 3-1. Knights left to right. Lauzon forward pass. Missed everybody. It's an icing. To finish the numbers on the second period, Vegas plus 12 in the playoffs for the second period. In the Stanley Cup final, they're plus 6. 7 goals scored, just 1 goal allowed in the second period in the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup final. Well, history, not prophecy, as they say.
Yeah, Darren Elliott said on the pregame show on the television that it's been like the NBA, and that these games have had like runs where one team goes on a run and then the other team goes on one, and it's kind of accurate.
Knights getting 4 goals in the second period of Game 3. Then the Hurricanes getting 4 goals in the third period of Game 3. And not until double overtime did the Knights finally answer back to win the game 5-4. Hurricanes got 3 goals in 39 seconds in the third period of Game 3. A new NHL Stanley Cup final record. Puck behind the Knights net. Lauzon pokes it to the sidewall. It's jabbed to center. Cole Smith to Sissons, and then it's Dorofeev to dump it in. Knights continuing to change. Forecheck pressure from the Knights. As Dowd comes in, joining Cole Smith. Keandre Miller gets it away. Out to the near side, and then Jankowski back to the right. And the right wing shot attempt shanked. Hanifin standing in the way of Nikolai Ehlers, who tests his stick. Hanifin plays it out right wing. Anderson dumps it in. Counterclockwise, it hits something on the far boards. Hurricanes get it and go the other way. In comes Ehlers. He shoots from distance. Saved by Carter Hart. No rebound.
Ehlers scored those 2 goals early in Game 1 and has been pretty quiet ever since.
Those are his only goals in this series. Did have an assist on the second goal for Carolina today. That's his first assist of the series. Ehlers is up to 6 goals and 6 assists here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. 12 points in 16 games. Low zone draw coming for Carolina. Just over 3 minutes gone, second period. Stanley Cup final Game 4. Game 5 will be in Raleigh, North Carolina, day after tomorrow, 5 o'clock Pacific time. Aho against Eichel. Carolina wins the draw. Slavin to the right. Svechnikov's bid blocked in front. Rebound left corner. Aho rims it around. Chatfield reverses the rim. Aho threw it in front, hit a body there. Aho turns it over. Stone coming out with Barbashev. Stone across the blue line right wing. He curls. Turns back to his forehand and rims it all the way around. From the left wall, a centering pass made by McNabb. Intercepted. Aho goes the other way. Stone and Theodore back. Onside entry, but then broken up by Stone. Steers it out. Area pass. Jack couldn't quite get up to it for the Knights. Stone finds it again. Barbashev knocked off the puck. And the fans want a penalty call. They don't get one. Hurricanes going the other way. It's an icing against Carolina. 4 minutes gone in the second period. Hurricanes in the lead 3-1. Mark Stone has got the lone Vegas goal here, Gary, and he's made a couple of really impressive plays defensively to help create offensive chances for the Knights.
Yeah, Mark scored in Game 3. It got taken off the board, but it kind of got him going. He's been good tonight for sure.
2 goals in the Stanley Cup final for Stone, and now 4 goals and 1 assist in 6 games since returning from injury in the conference final. Ozone draw for the Knights, left wing side. 4 minutes into the second period. Got a false start at the draw. Knights have their second line out there. Carlson between Howden and Marner. Marner coming off 4-point performance, had 10 shots in that game. 3 of them went in, a natural hat trick. Second natural hat trick this postseason. 28 points for Marner, leads all players. Carolina wins the draw. And now it's lifted to the Vegas side. Anderson tracking it backward. Steers it behind toward Hanifin. Pushes it up the boards off Carlson, and then Marner pushes it out. Marner gets a step into the zone, 1 against 2. Navigating right, Anderson gets the loose puck. Centers, they score! William Karlsson set up by Rasmus Anderson. And the Knights Calls, and it comes as the first shot on net in the second period for the Knights. And they now trail 3-2. 15:38 to go in the second period.
What a play by Mitch Marner to get this puck, get it under control, have a nice entry, little pass to Anderson. He circles around, finds the trailer. William Karlsson in the left-handed shot, rips one far post, past Bussey.
Rasmus Anderson collects his first point in the Stanley Cup final, 6th assist of the playoffs. No goals. He had no points in the last 5 games. But here the primary assist on William Karlsson's third of the playoffs and second in the Stanley Cup final. Karlsson from Anderson and Marner at 422. And Marner extends his franchise record, most points in a single Golden Knights postseason, now at 29. 10 goals and 19 assists for Marner in the playoffs. So the Knights are within 1. Puck is just inside the Vegas blue. Now it squirts out. Hurricanes on it, dump it in. It ends up in the near corner, picked up by Theodore. Theodore rips it out. Kolasar to go off his skate, reels it in. Miscommunication with Stone, but now Kolasar finds Dowd, using the left wall to work it down into the left corner. Bodied by Nikishin. Reinforcement arrives for the Golden Knights. Dorofeev and Hurdle. Puck to the line. Coghlan kept it only momentarily. Taylor Hall whips it out. Lausanne trying to get to it before Robinson, and does. Far corner of his own zone. Knights get it. Coghlan rips it out to neutralize. And nobody for Vegas could play it any further. William Carrier sends it in on Carter Hart. Coghlan stripped to the puck, but he's got support with Tomas Hurdle. Hurdle's airborne clear was knocked down. Hurdle's got it again. Going behind his own net. And now Dylan Coghlan, far corner, plays it to center. Off the stick near the Knights bench. Colton Sissons backhands it in. Knights on attack mode here, trailing 3-2. But they have the first goal here in the second period. Karlsson from Anderson and Marner. On the breakout for Carolina. Was it tipped? Apparently it was, so no icing. As the breakout pass went right in front of the Hurricanes bench. Hurdle sets up Sissons coming in. Trailed by Stone. Sissons going back and forth on the near boards, eventually forced to center. Jarvis gets it at neutral ice. Sissons trying to steal it back for the Knights. Chipped ahead, and it goes off the railing near side into Vegas end. Rasmus Anderson back. Fires forward. Off a man at the line. Barbashev tipped it in and goes to it in the right corner. Lands a check. Hurricanes get it quickly the other way. Theodore coming over with McNabb to defend the injury by Stahl. Theodore behind his net. Quick breakout pass. Goes off Barbashev. Evades Stone. Eichel pushes it ahead across the line. Eichel right circle. Knocked off his stick by Keandre Miller. Eichel gets it back right corner, but he's double teamed. Triple team now. Svechnikov carries it ahead. Navigating through Knights attackers. Cross the line. McNabb disrupts the play, but it ends up behind the Vegas goal. Svechnikov passing left corner. And Jarvis. Eichel defends there. 7 minutes gone by second period. 3-2 Carolina. Eichel emerges to center using the right glass, gets it in. 1 against 2. Everybody else changing for the Knights. Now Eichel heads off as well.
Jordan Stahl elbowed Braden McNabb right in the face mask. Braden's wearing that bubble with his damaged nose.
Yeah, the cage.
The cage. And Braden looked at the referee and said, "You can't let him do that."
Hurricanes prevent a clean breakout for the Knights. 12:30 to go in the second period. 3-2 Carolina. Chatfield, a right point shot redirected wide. Ends up in the trapezoid. Hanifin and Anderson defend. Anderson fell over side of the goal, so Slavin to Chatfield up top. Dish right in a shot. Saved by Hart. With Jackson Blake parked in front. Vegas on the puck. Out they go. Marner ahead with Howden. Entering left wing. Marner creates some space. The righty tried to feed down the slot. Pass got tipped. Howden tried to return it out high, but Marner's got to play it at center. Marner back near his own blue. Sneaks it ahead, but misses Lausanne. Hurricanes the other way. Coghlan denies a clean entry. Loose puck got tipped. It stays in. Miller lefty shoots. Save. Rebound trapped. Carter Hart got the trapper on top of the loose puck immediately, so there was no rebound opportunity. And a crowd gathers. Carter shaking his head a little bit there. It might have been some contact with William Carrier at the net front. And some words between Cole Smith and one of the referees. 11:52 to play second period. Carolina 3, Vegas 2. William Karlsson's third of the playoffs from Rasmus Andersson and Mitch Marner at 4:22, and the Knights trail 3-2 in Game 4. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. This is the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights Radio Network.
California's #1 casino just got better. Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel is now the only AAA 5-diamond rated casino hotel in the country. Become a Club Serrano member today and enjoy perks and exclusive rewards. VIP at another casino? Trade up and take advantage of the tier and offer match program at Yamava Resort and Casino, voted #1 casino outside of Vegas by Newsweek. You in? Details at yamava.com. Must be 21 to enter.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the rewards program that loves it when you date night, bet the perfect parlay, lounge poolside, oh, shiatsu, bottle service, yeah, hit me, shop till you drop, and then some. Earn and redeem on countless amazing experiences at MGM Resorts. This is MGM Rewards. Why be a guest when you can be a member? Visit MGMRewards.com for more. Earning and redemption limitations may apply to certain purchases in certain states.
When I brought the Golden Knights to Vegas, I wanted to create something unique for Nevada. High Ground Vodka is made from estate-grown rye and Sierra Nevada snowmelt for a smooth finish. It's hard to make it this way, but we want to do it right. Distilled in Minden, Nevada, High Ground is an exceptional Nevada-born vodka and proud partner of our hard-working hockey team. If you're 21 or over, I hope you give High Ground Estate Vodka a taste.
Back to the Stanley Cup playoffs with Dan Duva and Gary Lawless.
Well, until this Stanley Cup final, the Knights had never surrendered 3 goals in consecutive periods of regulation. That has now happened because they gave up 4 in the third period of Game 3 and 3 in the first period of this game. The good news, though, here in the second period now, they're +1 today, +7 in the Stanley Cup final against Carolina, outscoring the Canes 8-1 in the middle period. 3-2 Hurricanes, under 12 minutes to go in the second period. Ozone draw for Carolina. It's Jankowski against Dowd, but Jankowski tossed. It'll be Carrier instead. And from the tie-up, Hurricanes get it. Shot from the left point blocked. And Kolasar had no idea where the puck was. He started skating towards center, even though the puck was at his skates. Let's clear it out. It's going to be an icing goal.
There's no question the Golden Knights need to win this period. But by what measure is the factor to keep an eye on? Well, they got to win it too, obviously.
Well, Carolina led 2-0. Knights got within 1. Carolina made it 3-1. Knights thought it was 3-2. Braden McNabb put the puck in the goal just a tenth of a second too late at the end of the first period. Could not beat the clock. And so the score remained Carolina 3, Vegas 1. But now William Karlsson has the Knights' second goal. That does count. And from the D-zone draw, Knights control this one. Jeremy Lauzon navigates towards center, leading Kolasar. Onside with Cole Smith. Drop pass, down, shot it high. Rebound, Cole Smith's try. Swung and missed, and Robinson turns it out to center. Kolasar reached in and knocked it loose. Down, and Cole Smith trying to get it for the Knights. Couple of hard checks there in front of the Knights bench. Kolasar backward to Coughlin, right side. And now the deflected puck goes left. Eichel in. Eichel through the left circle, curls away. Reinforcements come from the bench. Feet up top, McNabb. A wrist shot. Stick down in front. Hurricanes get it. Gostisbehere an airborne clear. Theodore gloved it down. Robinson carries it in for the Hurricanes. Theodore knocks it back the other way. Barbashev left. Another try, hoping for Stone and hit the linesman, but Eichel gets it in. Eichel trying to come down the boards. Aho dislodges the puck. It's back at center. Hurricanes dump it in on goal. Steered aside by Carter Hart toward the left wing near boards. Stone fails to clear. Swung and missed. Martinook rims it around. Chatfield pinches in, pushes it behind for Martinook. He's sandwiched behind the net. Theodore gets the puck for the Knights. Theodore, using the near boards, fails to clear. It's Slavin to rim it around. Svechnikov right side. Bodied off the puck. Knights get it. And on the clear, taken by Vegas. Stone on the left. Rink wide right. Theodore dumps it in as everybody else changes. Line changes brought to you by William Hill. Only one shot on goal for the Knights this period. It was Karlsson's goal. Hurricanes have 3. And the game total is 17. Halfway through the second period, game 4. Knights lead the series 2-1. Hurricanes lead the game 3-2. Ehlers left corner for Carolina, slides it behind. Stahl high and a point shot, pad save. Knights get the rebound and lifted out by Marner. Collision in the neutral zone as Howden tripped up in an awkward position. Marner lands a check, Hurricanes in, and a drive by Stahl over the goal. Ehlers banks it behind for Jarvis. Looking out to the far side, and a sharp angle shot deflected by Hart. Went off to the near corner. Vegas clears the zone. Here comes Carlson. At the line, trailed by Howden. In they go right wing. Howden back to Carlson behind the Carolina goal. Banks it up top. McNabb fakes the drive, sets up Theodore. And he was stick checked. Carolina gets it out. Bank pass misses Hall. Carter Hart waiting in the trapezoid. Icing negated, and Carter Hart stayed in the trapezoid as to not commit a penalty for delay of game. Hurricanes down it at center and try to dump it back in, but it goes into the crowd and out of play. 9:03 to go in the second period. Carolina leads 3-2.
Vegas continues to be a little stubborn, Dan. They're still a little loose with their puck management right now, and they just can't afford to give up the next goal.
7 shots in the game, but 2 goals for the Knights. Hurricanes, 19 shots in the game, but 3 goals. 3-2 Carolina. 9:03 to go in the second period of game 4. Knights lead the series 2-1. Presented by Lee's Discount Liquor. It's the Stanley Cup playoffs on the Vegas Golden Knights radio network.
It's time to upgrade your roofing and solar experience, and Cooper Roofing and Solar has you covered. Literally. From re-roofing to deck installs, roof tune-ups, skylights, and more, they do it all. Right now, subscribe to Cooper's maintenance plan and get a 15% discount on roof maintenance. Keep your roof in top shape, avoid emergency repairs, and save big. Cooper Roofing and Solar is employee-owned and Southern Nevada's largest roofing company. Call Cooper today at 702-688-7940 or visit coopersolar.com. Cooper Roofing and Solar, proud roofing partner of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Hi, I'm attorney Adam Kuttner. I grew up playing hockey. To win in hockey, you have to be aggressive, you have to work hard, and you have to have a great team. And it's no different when I'm representing my clients in their personal injury cases. My team and I work hard to get you the maximum settlement as quickly as possible, because winning is everything.
If you've been injured in an accident, ask attorney Adam Kuttner, 702-382-0000. That's 382-0000.
For years, everyone thought Verizon had the best network, because they did. But now the best mobile network in the U.S. is T-Mobile. T-Mobile's network has the most advanced 5G, with more towers, and their signal reaches further than ever. So you can text and Insta-talk and say, "You won't believe where I am."
T-Mobile has the best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. See T-Mobile.com/network.
Back to the Fortress for more Stanley Cup playoff action.
Knights trail the Hurricanes 3-2. 9:03 to play, second period. Game 4, Stanley Cup final. Knights winning here at T-Mobile Arena 2 days ago. 3 days ago, actually. Winning in double overtime. Everybody needed that extra day. It seemed to go by in a blink, I guess. Carolina wins a neutral zone faceoff. There will be only 1 day between games 4 and 5 in Raleigh day after tomorrow. And then game 6, there will be, if necessary, a couple of days between games 5 and 6. Carolina dumps the puck in. Carter Hart stops it behind his goal. Braden McNabb looks to the far side, but he misses the target there as down was spilled. Puck ends up behind the Knights net again. Theodore, forward pass got deflected. Stankoven missed the deflection though. Bodied by Dowd. They're going to call a penalty. Dowd collides with Stankoven in front of the Carolina bench. Stankoven is listed at 5'8". And you know, if he's listed at 5'8", he's not that tall. And Dowd was sort of skating toward the bench, and Stankoven kind of lowered his body, and just Dowd went over the top of him. Cross-checked him, perhaps.
Vegas penalty number 26. 2 minutes cross-checking.
Dowd extends the arms with both hands on the shaft of his stick and got Stankoven up near the right shoulder.
Stankoven goes low to avoid a hit, and the result is Dowd gets him with the stick. Vegas has to kill this off regardless. It's a penalty. The whole Carolina bench was right in front of them. They all just came up out of their, off the bench, screaming at the referee, and they didn't need to. He was ready to call it already. Big kill here for Vegas.
Stankoven has the first goal of today's game, his 11th of the playoffs. Second in the Stanley Cup final. With 11 in the playoffs, he's one shy of the franchise record held by Rod Brindamore. Had 12 goals in the run to the Stanley Cup in 2006. Knights get a clear off the draw. Hurricanes power play technically 1 for 2 in this game, but one of their even strength goals came 4 seconds after their power play ended. Right to left to the offensive zone. Aho on the right boards. Got it through Hannafin. Around to the near side left. Thanks to Svechnikov. Returns it down to the left goal line. Ehlers back and forth now. Ehlers turns toward the net. Hands it off again left circle. Jarvis is there. Had a power play goal earlier in this series. Gostisbehere sends it right wing side. Hannafin and Sissons defend there. Hannafin engages on Svechnikov. Aho then gets it out to the point. And a shot. Blocker save. Rebound far circle. Sissons knocks it away. Cole Smith clears the zone. And the Hurricanes will have to tag up. Jarvis takes the pass to the blue line. Svechnikov, miscommunication with Aho. Cole Smith sends it all the way down. And it gone from the penalty.
Long change, so Vegas has to get it all the way down here in the second period to get skaters off. They got a full change there.
Carolina leads the game 3-2. 7:15 to go second period. Hurricanes send it in. Theodore launches it back down. All the way back behind the goal at the Carolina side of the ice for Alexander Nikishin. Oh, pressure on the shorthanded forecheck. Marner twice creates a loose puck, but he never could secure it himself. Marner and Howden together. Again, Marner blocks the pass. The Knights have generated 4 shorthanded goals this postseason, and Marner with a hand on all 4. Howden scoring 3 of the 4. On the far side, Stone and Marner combining to keep the puck at the perimeter. 15 seconds on the penalty. Nikishin banks it down the sidewall. McNabb now reaches in the right circle. Pass goes behind for Taylor Hall. Backhands at left point. Ehlers returns it left for Hall. Penalty at 2 at 1. Ehlers taken away by Theodore. Coming out with Stone. Out of the box, it's down. Back for Theodore. Tried to center for Stone, but Ehlers broke up the play. Stone centers for Dowd. Just missed him on the backhand. Marner reaches in, trying to keep the play in the zone. It is cleared out, but played by Anderson and neutralized for Vegas. Stone sets up Eichel. Down the slot, he shot it, blocked. And it comes on. Gloved and held by Bussey. And he has the whistle.
So that's the exact opposite of what has been happening for Vegas on the penalty kill. Instead of Carolina, really working them over and even scoring, Vegas, Marner comes alive halfway through there. Eichel and Stone get something going at the end. Big momentum shift for the Golden Knights right there. 6:08 left in the second.
As you said earlier, Gary, the Carolina power play, whenever it's had the opportunity, has seemed to be completely in the offensive zone. Now, they scored 21 seconds into their previous power play, but this was a different looking power play. It's the first time where you could say the penalty kill actually looked really good for them. Left circle draw for the Knights. Eichel to take the drop out there with Barbashev and Marner. Hurricanes get the draw, though. Right to left, Martinook using the right side wall to get it in around Noah Hannafin. Anderson goes to pick up his man in the corner on the dump in, but puck comes around to the near side left. Stahl reverses. William Carrier in pursuit, taken by the Knights. Shoved ahead by Barbashev as he got tackled in his own zone. Anderson comes in, delayed penalty coming against Carolina. Eichel centered, but it went off the back of the net. It ends up on the near boards, touched up. Interference call coming to Carolina.
I think it's William Carrier. What a terrible penalty.
Carolina 48 minor penalty interference.
Smart. I had the 28 and the 48 confused, but this is an awful penalty. In Vegas now, they're going to get immediate timeout. They'll get to put their top 5 down on the bench for a minute to catch their breath. Big turning point here. In the game, possibly, Danny.
Martin at 35 penalty minutes in the regular season, and now 14 in the playoffs. Knights trailing 3-2, 5:40 to go.
44.
Calling all Vegas Golden Knights fans. Hockey is back, and the RTC Game Day Express is your road to victory this season. For just $4 round. Trip, get a direct, fast, and easy ride to T-Mobile Arena from 6 convenient locations around the valley. Break away from traffic hassles and leave the driving to us. Visit our...
Marner again straight on. Back for Eichel, high on the left wing. Eichel scanning, zips it low for Stone. Looking from the left circle, opens up, back for Eichel. With the dunk. Mishandled it only for an instant. Marner again, back for Eichel. Now it's Hurdle, back for Eichel on the outside left. Down to a minute 22. Stone in the left knocks Carlson off the puck, and it's cleared off the near side glass. It'll make it all the way down as Carter Hart leaves it in play for Theodore. 3 seconds left on the Knights' power play. Theodore For a hit at the line, Howden, he shoots, blocked. It ends up wide right. And on the clear, it comes just after the penalty expires, so this will be an icing against Carolina. Pass got tipped. To center it goes Sissons. Howden, a 2-on-1. Howden pulls, he shoots, he scores!
The corner, Robinson. He'll get help from Jankowski. Puck to the right of Carter Hart. Sissons will play this one out. A chance for Cole Smith. Smith tries to cut through. He'll drop it back for Sissons. His shot deflects wide. Dowd will just pitch this one back behind the Canes net. Nikishin tries to clear. Coughlin keeps it in. And Nikishin's second attempt, and Carolina can clear this. Onside for Robinson. Eric Robinson takes a hit from Cole Smith, but he's able to get this deep. Vegas changes. Carolina follows suit. Coughlin up the boards just to center ice. 1:49 left here in the second period. Now Marner with it. Trying to back off Chatfield. Oh, great defense by Chatfield. Took the body, time, and space away, and Marner's backhand off the mark, and it comes right to Hall. They'll lead it for Blake. Blake cuts through. Rebound out in front. He'll cut into Hart, and now we'll get a whistle. Blake was pushed into Hart from the vantage point up here in the booth. And we're going to get a cross-check and a goalie interference, so 4-on-4 coming up.
I mean, I can live with it. I think as Blake was trying to score, he just lost his footing. Maybe got pushed, so I wouldn't have said that he met the criteria for goalie interference. He could have stopped skating, and then McNabb cross-checks him, so, you know,
Carolina 53, minor penalty, goal interference. Vegas number 3, minor penalty, cross-checking. 4-on-4.
That's John A. Bear, wanting to, either call nothing or call both. And he had reason to call both. So, and by the way, Mike, you go back to Taylor Hall's breakaway at 3-1 in the first period. Carter Hart looked like he's looked like he's been searching at different points in this series. And just when you think you've gotten to him, he finds a way to shut the door. And he's made some saves here in this second period. He just made one on Jackson Blake. So I think that's a storyline that every time you think you've gotten to him, and it should give you confidence, you'll find a way. But when you think you've got him hanging on the cliff, he makes saves. Just like he did in the first overtime at this end after he gave up 4 in the third period. In Game 3 on Saturday night.
4-on-4. There's only 90 seconds left in the period, so we will pay attention to the game clock, not the penalties here. And for the Hurricanes, it's going to be a pairing of Jarvis and Aho. Face-off is one, and Rasmus Andersson will chip this out for Vegas after the Golden Knights were play it away from Seth Jarvis. Now Aho in his own zone. He'll overskate the puck, and Stone will get to it. A shot hammered by Carlson wide. Rasmus Andersson keeps it in along the right wing board. Stone will get to it on the left side. Turning with it is Carlson. Carlson will deliver this low. Gostisbehere lets it go. Not able to get to it is Jarvis, but Stone will take it over the blue line as we are under a minute remaining in the second period. Now Stone into the Kane zone. Drop for Andersson. Andersson, sharp angle. Bussey makes the save, goes off the mask, and he'll get a whistle with 45.5 seconds remaining here in the second period.
All right, 4-on-4, and Sebastian Aho, I think, has had some good looks tonight, but he didn't possess a puck where he had time when they're in room, where there hasn't been a lot of it in this series, and he couldn't settle the puck and turn it over. And as a result, Vegas briefly in the neutral zone. They're on the attack instead of Carolina attacking at 4-on-4, and eventually Rasmus Andersson challenges Bussey from a sharp angle and a solid stop.
Stahl will come out to take the draw against Eichel to the left of Bussey. And Eichel He'll be given the boot.
Remember what you can manufacture late in periods, with that near buzzer beater from Vegas at the end of the first. See what Carolina can do here.
Marner versus Stahl, and an easy win for the Canes captain, and Carolina moves this out. And a chance to turn with it is Walker at center ice. Sean Walker drops it back from Miller. Miller has it knocked away by Marner, but then Marner has it knocked away by Stahl. He'll play it up the boards for Ehlers. He'll cut across. Here's a chance now. Shot misses the far post. As taking aim was Walker, and now Carolina will change with 15 seconds left. Miller with it in his own zone. Pull away from Eichel. Up the boards, Ehlers has some room. Ehlers drops it back. Shot hammered right on by Slavin. Kicked away by Hart into the corner. Theodore with it with 2 seconds left. 1 second left. Eichel has it. That's how the second period comes to a close. And the Canes' 3-1 lead after 20 is now a 3-3 tie after 40 here at T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah, they played a better second period than they played. You had that huge kill, and then I didn't like the way that that Miller, with his usually reliable stick, played Howden's shot. I thought that was the one small moment for Brandon Bussey. So the reality is neither team has been able to protect a lead in this series. And when Carolina's had it in games 1 and now game 4, you're just hoping, they're going to play with the lead for a long stretch. Vegas would say the same thing in games 2 and 3. So, at the end of the day, 3-3 on the road after 40 minutes going in, you take that. To win a period, win a game, and tie the series.
Buckle up. Third period here in game number 4. Coming up after the second intermission report with Adam Gold. Vegas strikes for 2 in the second period. It's 3-3 after 40 here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Hey, sports fans, it's Trip Tracy. It is our time to take it all. We've been at the top of our game and resilient all season long. And just like our guys, TimberTech Decking is durable and resilient to stay at the top of its game season after season. TimberTech is designed to stand up to sun, rain, and years of gatherings. You get the beauty of wood without sanding, staining, or splinters. And it's backed up by industry-leading warranties so your deck will last year after year after year. Connect with a local contractor near you or order free samples at TimberTech.com to see the TimberTech difference for yourself. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Adam Gold inside T-Mobile Arena. We head to the third period. Well, we're not there yet. And it is a new hockey game. 3 apiece as Vegas gets the only 2 goals of the frame. William Karlsson and Brett Howden. Howden's 14th of the playoffs. He had 12 goals all season long. He's got 14 in the playoffs. He's had an amazing postseason. Karlsson's third came on a kind of a broken play in the offensive zone for Carolina. Went the other way. I thought it was defended fairly well on Mitch Marner, but he got the puck behind the net. Rasmus Andersson skated it around and found William Karlsson in front. Sean Walker was in position to block the shot, but it went through him and past Brandon Bussey. And that was the goal that made it 3-2. And then a transition opportunity ended up being a 2-on-2. And Miller just didn't gap up well enough, and he was a little bit far off Brett Howden. His shot, again, I think might have been through a screen by Miller, and it beats Brandon Bussey, and we are 3-3. Jackson Blake had a great chance early in the period, ducked in, side down the left in front of the net, but it was saved by Carter Hart. I think Vegas' goaltender is there to be had if Carolina can get to the front of the net and pot away a couple of rebounds. And they're going to have to. It doesn't look like this game is going to end where 4 is enough. I think you're going to need to get to 5, and who knows, maybe even 6 to win it. We'll come back and listen to highlights next.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hey, Caniacs. As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, the local team at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses across the Research Triangle. Our families live here and contribute to our communities, so we have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/canes for a free home or business security assessment. That's vectorsecurity.com/canes.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Oh, we got highlights second period style brought to you by Spectrum. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more, SpectrumTV.com. Keandre Miller bids on Carter Hart.
Miller with a shot, saved by Hart, and again a leaky glove, but he gets to the loose puck and gets a whistle.
First real scrum of the night. Hurricanes forced a turnover on Mitch Marner, and Keandre Miller tried to challenge Carter Hart himself.
Here's more work on Mitch Marner's. Sean Walker with some physicality.
Now sent behind the net. Stahl will get to it. Back to the point. A long shot. Hammered by Walker, and Hart makes the save. And now a puck is elevated out. And
loved it. Big hit from Walker.
And Walker delivers another hit, and it's Stahl hammering one at the top of the circle. And the second hit was on Marner. Now Jarvis with it. He'll play this one. Ehlers sneaks it out in front. Another redirect by Stahl. That goes over the top of the net.
Heck of a shift. All centered around Walker. The big hit on Marner.
And Jordan Stahl just being a man in the middle of the ice. Brandon Bussey, say hi to Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner again.
Eichel, low save made by Bussey. Now can the Canes clear? It can't get it out. Kept in by Marner. Opportunity there was Jankowski. And now Marner through traffic, saved Bussey, and now Slavin has time. And he will airmail this one the length of the ice. And Stahl can get off, and Carolina can put fresh killers onto the playing surface here with 25 seconds left in the penalty to Jordan Martinook.
Jordan Stahl without a stick for about 90 seconds. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk things over with Walt Ruff next.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before.
Oh, yeah! Big money!
Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Adam Gold inside T-Mobile Arena. We are headed to the third period. 3-3 Hurricanes and Golden Knights in Game 4. Brought to you by Cardinal Apparel, proud partner and T-shirt provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. What do you think through 40 minutes?
You know, it's funny, for how much of this series has been classified as chaotic and unpredictable and all the history we've talked about, the trends of this series have almost followed suit. I think all 4 games, Carolina has been the better team in the first period.
Right.
Second period has belonged to Vegas.
Yes.
And here we are.
Exactly. Third period, I know Carolina's outscored Vegas 8-3.
Correct.
But I kind of feel like the third period, I know we scored 4 goals, but I didn't think Carolina was necessarily better than Vegas in the third period in Game 3. They just scored 4 times. I think it's been that period has been kind of even. But you're right. Carolina finally got something out of the first period. Talk to me about the captain.
Yeah, that was huge. What a monster performance. This whole series, right?
Yep.
First player in 43 years to score in the first 4 games of the Stanley Cup final. It's remarkable, really. I know we've talked all season long, but even given where Jordan's play was, and this isn't meant to be disparaging in any way, where it was 2 years ago or before he signed the 4-year contract, for him to be playing at this level in this stage is fascinating to me, and he is driving the bus offensively. He did a great job in the previous highlight package encapsulating. I thought it was probably Carolina's maybe their best look in the second period, but you know his confidence is rolling when he's firing one-time slap shots in transition coming through the zone. But the way the puck is finding twine for him, you can't say you blame him.
I'll tell you what, here's another thing, and look, he's been amazing, but you know the head coach was tired of the period. It's 4-on-4 hockey. He sends Jordan Stahl out there at 4-on-4 because he was sick and tired of what he had been watching. I'm like, get me out of this period, 11.
Old reliable, and that's what he went to, right?
It's just remarkable. Brandon Bussey, I don't know what your view is. I know you were kind of scrubbing through video. My first glance was he might have been screened on both shots in the period by his own guy. Not even Vegas screens. Looked like Walker maybe on the first one and Miller on the second.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I would have to go back and look through once more, but just even this situation that he's been thrown into, we had talked about it prior to the third period on Saturday night, but for him to come out and just approach this test the way he has. You saw him yesterday. He was all smiles as he met with the media of, whether it was a smoke screen or not. He said, I didn't know if I was starting. And pregame today, players were asked, but Rod Brindamore said he'd made a decision. I digress on all of that. It's a tough assignment for him tonight. Being screened by his own guys is not helping, but I love his approach thus far through 40 minutes.
All right. I thought Carolina, they had the first play of the first shift of the period, maybe the second shift. Jackson Blake in off the left, cuts ducks out in front. They're going to have to put, I would think, at least one, probably 2, past Carter Hart. But he looks like he's there to be had for me.
Agree, completely. A little shaky in situation. Stuff that is normally routine looking is not. He's given up a couple juicy rebounds, a little trouble with the glove. So, yes, I would agree that there are opportunities to be had with him. To your point, early in the second period, it looked like it was going to be a continuation of how Carolina rolled through the end of the first. Obviously, as we know now, and to your point earlier of, I don't know that Vegas was that much better in that second period,
right?
But they got more out of it, and we're in the business of goal scoring.
All right, give me a player or two that we need to see more of in this period.
Ooh.
More from, not of. I want to see more of Stankov and Blake and Hall, who are a scoring chance, it seems, just basically every shift.
Yeah, they've been really good, so you got to look elsewhere within the lineup. Everybody's got to pull the rope, right? And for how much as we've talked about this recent line switching, I think the combination of Andrei Svechnikov, Sebastian Aho, and Jordan Martinook, they need to give you something here in this period. I know that when it comes to defensive assignments, they are often drawing one of the tougher ones, but at the same time, a guy like Andrei who scores 30 in a year, we talk a lot about timely goals. You need a timely goal now.
Yeah, I think what I need to see from Andrei in this period is a little bit more north-south. I have not seen Andrei put his head down and bull his way to the net. I think he's been a little shaky with the puck, and I think maybe Sebastian has caught it. I loved Aho and Svechnikov on Saturday. I liked them in Game 2 also. I don't think we have seen them take the next step.
No, I would agree, and that's a great way to classify it because it was steps forward. There was so much made of the whole line going into the series of, you need more out of Svechnikov, Aho, Jarvis. That wasn't happening, so you made the switch. Then it started to build a little bit, but you're right, they have not continued that progression thus far this evening. To your point of the north-south, I think more guys, really, not just Andrei, but direct with the puck. I think that's what Carolina did well in the first. I had the privilege of sitting right below the Vegas radio booth here in Press Row, and they were harping on Vegas for the lack of simplicity in their game. It's what Carolina did well, but maybe not as much in the second.
Real quick before we say goodbye here. The penalty kill for Carolina. Jordan Stahl breaks his stick right off the faceoff. 90 seconds. Jankowski's fail clear did not help. But those guys closed that down. The Slavin finally did get it out. Very fortunate for Carolina.
Definitely. That was a test of conditioning for the big man there, because when you don't have your stick to lean on and you're going back, forth, left, right, that really puts your endurance and your skating ability to the maximum test. And they found their way out of it. It got hairy at times, but I thought he did a great job with his body positioning, taking away the lanes, which is really all you can do there once your twig goes.
So did you. Great job with your body positioning. Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. Numbers and more after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network. Hey, it's Adam Golden. I am in studio with my friend Jeff Hoffman from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Windows. Everybody needs them, but we have a lot of different choices.
Yes, we do. We got double hung. We have the arch windows, all kinds of different shapes that we can do. We have slider windows, casement windows, and they come in several different colors, a lot to choose from. We'll come out, walk through the project with you, assess any kind of rotten wood, take care of that as well, and then install whatever you choose.
800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
Need reliable emergency pool phones? Score big with Southeast Telephone Service, your Triangle leader in code-compliant pool phones. Don't risk getting shut down this season. Right now, grab our Playoffs promo. Wireless 4G LTE emergency pool phones. Just $250 for equipment, plus $19.99 per month. Code-compliant, dependable, easy self-install. Visit southeasttelephone.net/hockey and lock in this limited-time deal. Stay compliant, stay connected, and stay open with Southeast Telephone Service.
Adam Gold inside T-Mobile Arena. It's 3-3 between the Golden Knights and the Hurricanes. In the series, it is 2-1. Vegas, William Karlsson's third from Rasmus Andersson and Mitch Marner got Vegas within one at 4:22 of the frame, and then it's 17:08. In transition, Brett Howden's 14th from Colton Sissons, and William Karlsson his second point of the game. Carolina still winning the faceoff circle, 57% to 43%. And the hit game, 30-23 in favor of Vegas. Canes are 1 for 3 on the power play. The Golden Knights are 0 for 2. Lenovo brought us those numbers after 2 periods. I am Adam Gold. Lenovo, by the way, official technology partner of the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm Adam Gold. Mike and Tripp have the third period. I'll see you in a little bit.
The best way to follow the Stanley Cup playoffs is here. The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every game of every series. Behind-the-scenes playoff content you won't get anywhere else. The most NHL Edge advanced stats, keeping you up to date from round 1 through the Stanley Cup final. When it comes to following the playoffs, don't settle for anything less. The Stanley Cup playoffs are better on the NHL app.
Ambition comes in all shapes and sizes. At First Citizens Bank, we're fit for your ambitions, whatever shape they may take. Whether you're planning for today or tomorrow, we've got the flexibility and know-how to help you reach your goals. Because we're built for what you're building. First Citizens Bank, fit for your ambition. Learn more at firstcitizens.com/ambition.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
We get ready to start the third period. Game number 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Carolina and Vegas tied at 3. Hurricanes trailing this best-of-7 series 2-1. Carolina in game number 4 this postseason, 3-0. On the road, 6-1. Vegas, meanwhile, 7-2 at home. But if you want a little something to look into for the numbers, Carolina in the third period in this series so far has outscored Vegas 8-3. However, Vegas has outscored Carolina 9-1 in the second period, which is how we're level as we get into this third frame in game number 4, Tripp.
Well, this is the first time that it's been tied going into the third period since game 1. And Vegas got that early third period goal, Shea Theodore to Brett Howden. Now, Hurricanes ended up answering back, Shane Gostisbehere, and then Vegas answered again. Let's see if Carolina can lean on the edge they've had in third periods. Svechnikov doesn't have a shot, Mike. You got to see him shoot the puck here in this third period. It starts with 4-on-4 for another just about 15 seconds.
Well, Vegas has the puck. And now they'll work this into the Hurricane zone. It'll be knocked away from Noah Hannafin. Good play there by Walker. Canes move it into the Vegas zone, but right back to Hannafin. He plays it up for Brett Howden, who is the leading goal scorer in this postseason. As his 14th is the goal that tied this game at 3 apiece back in that second period. As now both players come out of the penalty box, and we're back to 5 skaters aside. As McNabb out for Vegas, Blake out for Carolina, and Blake gets run into by Lauzon, but gets enough to chip it out over the blue line. Slavin knocks down a puck. Hall tries a little self-pass off the boards. Too far. Vegas trying to find their way into the Canes zone. Eichel put himself offside, but went back to tag up. Got it to Stone. Deflected out in front by Barbashev. Wrap chance. And Stankoven with a marvelous defensive play on Barbashev. Couldn't get a clean look. Now Stankoven back the other way into the Vegas zone. He'll get this in deep. Carolina trying to work their way into the corner.
Yeah, Barbashev, he wraps that puck around quickly after the Bussy save. Carter Hart covers, but the first early chance of the period goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. It would have been interesting to see, had that puck gone in, if Eichel was onside when he got it to Stone. Stone, after Eichel got it to him, boy, it was a bit of a juicy rebound on the butterfly from Brandon Bussy. You know, I think he could have caught it and just held on. And Ivan Barbashev, I mean, you think about that big moment in game 2 in the third period where Freddie Anderson made a couple saves on the wraparound with his paddle. Barbashev can wrap it pretty quickly from below the goal line. He just missed.
The Canes and Knights still tied at 3. Just 90 seconds gone by here in the third period. Jordan Stahl. He'll be waved out of the face-off circle. Jarvis will take this against Tomas Hertl. He'll flip this one back, and Theodore finds Dorofeev. Moves to the middle of the ice. Long shot on the other side of the blue line. Bussy makes a save. Sharp angle opportunity. Knocked away by Bussy. Penalty coming up to Carolina. Miller is going to go to the box for taking down Dorofeev, and then Dorofeev has a shove after the play.
Let's buckle up the chin straps.
Carolina penalty number 19, 2 minutes tripping.
With what Keandre Miller means to Carolina's penalty kill, this is nail-biter time. Dorofeev has established a shot from the neutral zone. You got to give him a lot of credit because he didn't have to shoot that puck. Because of that, you had somebody going to the net, and that's why Keandre is guilty of the trip. Huge kill, obviously.
Hertl going to the net, tripping. Now with Miller, a key penalty killer in the box. The job gets a little tougher, but Carolina wins the draw, and Slavin sends it all the way down on Carter Hart.
You want to lean on Slavin and Chatfield as much as you can, but then Walker and Nikishin. You're going to get this thing to the finish line. You're still in the first 30 seconds. They're going to have to do their part.
They're doing a great job stacking up at the blue line right now. Was Stahl. Second effort, Hertl got it to Dorofeev, and now wrapped into the corner. Sharp angle shot put right on, and a save made by Bussy. As Vegas trying to follow that script. Stone, he'll hand it to Eichel. Back out in front, turn across. Bussy fights off the Dorofeev offering. And Vegas still keeping it in. Pressure now. Marner off of his skate. Stone out in front, whacks at it. Bussy got a piece. Dorofeev back to Marner. Inside the blue line. Eichel, one-timer, that hits the post, and it's going to deflect all the way down into the Vegas zone.
And Martinuk, I thought, had a clear, and the Vegas stick came up parallel. No call, and Vegas has a couple of good chances, including the iron.
And good work here by the Canes to bang this one all the way back down in possession. 40 seconds left on the kill. It's Aho and Jarvis. Penalty-killing wizards for the Canes in the regular season. Part of the reason why Carolina had 12 shorthanded goals. Jarvis trying to cut off Barbashev. Wrapped around the boards, kept in by Rasmus Andersson. Down low, knocked away, and here they go. Well, Vegas, though, anticipating it. Aho with Jarvis. They'll cross into the zone. Aho, shot, that's deflected. Hart gets a piece. It'll work its way to Barbashev at center ice. Barbashev, backhand, sent through, deflected, a sprawling play by Nikishin to just get a piece.
Get to this next whistle.
Now Miller.
3 defensemen on the ice. You got to get a whistle with Miller out of the box.
Now chance here, and Jarvis will get the whistle as he blocks the shot of Theodore with 16:09 left here in the third period. Still tied at 3.
That was crucial, Mike, because remember, start of the third period in game 1, Chatfield came out of the box, so you had 3 defensemen on the ice, and that led to Theodore finding Howden. You know, it's one thing when you have a forward coming out of the box like Mardinuk say in the second period. You know, when you have 3 defensemen on the ice, one guy's a winger, so it's not your comfort zone. And that's a key whistle to get that puck going into the netting.
Big draw here for Mark Jankowski against Dowd. And the Canes will get to it. Slavin with an aerial flip. Robinson chasing after it, but Coughlin there first. Dylan Coughlin, his pass out to center ice. Wanted to drop that one in was Dowd, but he hit it off of Sissons. And Coughlin will just rim this one in high off the glass. Chatfield will muscle this one for Carrier. Carrier takes a peek. Flip one high. Clawed out to the neutral zone, and Carolina can pick it up. No chance. Little backhander by Carrier. That'll be caught and hung on to by Carter Hart. 15:35 remaining here in the third period. Still tied at 3.
Okay. Huge kill. There's been 2 posts in the night, and they both have been in Carolina's goal. You know, you had the goal that just missed beating the clock, so you've gotten some bounces here tonight. How quickly now after that big kill, Stankoven line on the ice, which has been Carolina's best, can you get back on the stress game? Same dot where Stankoven scored the first goal of the game.
Stankoven gets tied up. And Theodore will lose an edge, but able to play it to the corner. Can Carolina play keeping? No, it'll roll over the blue line. And it'll be pushed by Nikishin. Nikishin pressured by Carlson. Carlson with a steal. Marner crashes to the front of the net. Carlson hangs on to the puck to the left of Bussey. Now Marner.
No stick Nikishin.
Now it's worked out to the middle of the rink. Stolen by Stankoven. Stankoven through the Vegas logo. He'll drop it for Hall. Hall has it taken away by Marner. Blake takes it away. And Blake now moving in out in front looking for a shot. But he's taken off the puck and Carlson hands this one.
Marner's just a great defensive player. Just made a heck of a play. Hall and Stankoven trying to do their thing inside the Vegas blue line. That doesn't get the glamour, but he is complete.
Well, they've got a couple who are great offensively, but our outstanding 200-foot players. Put Jack Eichel in that mix as well for this Vegas Golden Knight team. Now Miller jumps in on the play to keep it in. Knocked past him. Right on cue, there's Eichel trying to work the shot around. Eichel watched by Walker. Centering attempt. Martinic got a piece. Then to the side of the net. It goes through the blue paint. Carolina trying to clear. Kept in Hannafin. Stone with a shot out in front. Bussey with the save as he robs Eichel. Oh, dear Bussey, a huge save there on Jack Eichel. And now a nice play by Martinook. He'll get it to Aho. Aho rims one right through. Little wrister. Hart makes the save, hangs on, and then Hannafin and Aho, who were teammates. Something back and forth, and Carolina, big save by Bussey, and then Aho with a good chance on the other end.
And, I think Carolina had some really good sticks in front. Both Stone and Eichel, just couldn't get the puck to the net cleanly. Ended up with some sticks, and Bussey taking away the lower portion, missing the target. Vegas in the first 6 minutes, they were helped with a power play, but they've had the early push. And they hit Jack Eichel did, they hit the crossbar once. Now you got to find a way to push back. Territorial, attacking zone time. That's how you push. After Vegas has had the territorial time in the first 6 minutes.
Do a little maintenance right now to the ice in front of Carter Hart. Stahl Jarvis Ehlers out to take the draw here. Colton Sissons will face off against Stahl. Stahl 8 wins on 11 tries, making 9 of 12. Back to Chatfield. He'll hand it off Jarvis. Across the ring, Slavin gets the shot away, but it goes wide off of the boards. Jarvis tries to get it in deep, but Sissons knocks it away. A little blind backhand pass will be picked up by Carolina. Stahl charges in. Hart slows it down. Theodore plays it. Sissons fighting his hands right now. As Vegas able to get it into the neutral zone, but Carolina right back now. Giveaway. Jarvis goes in backhand and Hart with the save. Oh, Jarvis all alone now. Back out in front for Stahl. A backhand. He scores. He scores again. Oh my goodness. The captain is unreal. His second of the game. And the Hurricanes have got a 4-3 lead with 13:28. Oh, captain, my captain, Jordan Stahl, writing a story in the Stanley Cup final.
Legendary leadership in not words but action. Seth Jarvis had an A+ chance. Carter Hart makes a great save. What's the way to take that great feeling away? Score before you get to the next whistle. Relentless forecheck, and Ehlers got it to Jordan Stahl. Jordan Stahl had completely lost his footing. Both heels of his skates came in, and somehow athletically, after trying to finish on the forehand, finishes going down to the ice on the backhand. His 5th goal of the series.
7th overall. And the Carolina Hurricanes have a 4-3 lead here in Vegas. It's their 9th goal in the 3rd period of this Stanley Cup final. Now a chance for Robinson. These bump-up shifts become even bigger here as Jankowski gets it into the Vegas zone. This will trickle out over the blue line. Miller lost his skates as getting into him was Kolasar, but no call provided. Carrier tries to get it in deep, can't. Now Vegas sets up Hannafin with a shot. Bussy deflects it away.
Good challenge there. Hannafin only option to shoot the puck. Really good challenge, and then rebound control with the blocker from Bussy.
Now Hall, he'll come up with a steal. His shot goes wide to the right of Carter Hart's net. Kane's able to keep it in, down the boards. Fighting for it here is Blake. They'll push it in deep. Anderson, one-handed around, but Hall, another turnover. Hall, couple of interceptions. He'll get this one across. Gostisbehere drops it deep. Blake lets it go to Hall. Back around the boards. Stankoven. He'll get this one here for Blake. Blake turning with it. He'll drop it deep. Racing after it is Hall, but Hannafin with a great defensive stick. But he'll give it away to Gostisbehere. Back behind the net. Hall thinking about a stuff chance. He'll take it up the boards. Back for Slavin. Carolina can make a change here. Hemming in Vegas. Stankoven drops this one in for Martinook. Martinook tying up 2 Vegas players, Carlson and Anderson. And Carolina can make a full swap while they're fighting for the puck.
Yeah, keep smartly attacking on the forecheck. Good stuff.
Barbashev loses it. Walker's shot deflects out in front. Martinook tries to get it back to Aho, and it's deflected over the blue line. Vegas making a change. Carolina trying to catch. They'll rim this one.
Canes can smell blood. They can smell blood.
Now it's Stone. He'll knock this one to the Canes blue line. It'll be kept in by Eichel. He'll lose the handle to Aho. Angled out for Martinook. Martinook settles things down. Eichel with some pressure. Martinook gets it into the Vegas zone. Carolina can make a change. Hand it off here. Barbashev redirected by Eichel. Doesn't find its way to Bussy. Jarvis with it. Jarvis, he takes 2 hits and will get the puck right to Coughlin at the Vegas blue line. His pass for Barbashev too far. This will be sent back into the Kane zone.
You can hear the communication on the road. You know, Bussy letting the guys know when they have time. That's hard to do in a hostile environment. Really good communication.
Nikishin couldn't keep this one into the left point, and it's going to start a break out in front. Oh! Bussy got a poke check on Sissons, and Nikishin got across as well.
Nikishin, he's going to have to improve his skating. He is laboring. He just got beat cleanly to the outside. Had a big block earlier in the period. He will, but we need him to move his feet here in this series.
A good play made by Chatfield. And that allows Nikishin to get off the ice, but Vegas, they'll get the puck. They'll send it around the Cane zone. From the left wing side to the right wing side. Kept in by Smith, but they'll fire this one over the blue line. Rasmus Andersson pounds it back in. Vegas needs to tag up. They will, and they'll get to the puck. Smart play there by Andersson. Now Nick Dowd shielding off Slavin. Down to the blue line, then he'll give away. Carrier reads the play, and then he'll fight one hand this one over the blue line. Strong play, Will Carrier.
You bet. Back healthy. He's grinding it out. Anticipated that puck in the middle, then used that big frame to get it out and get off the ice.
And a cross corner dump in by Hanifin. Carolina will get to it first. Cleared back out. Hall slips this one back into the Vegas zone. Theodore back to get it. 9:15 remaining here in the third period. 4-3, Carolina in the lead. Jordan Stahl's second goal of the game, his fifth of this Stanley Cup final. Vegas will keep this in as it goes back and forth. Barbashev whips it across. That shot ripped just wide. A great play made by Barbashev. Now along the boards. Chance here for Walker. It was Theodore who had the aim. Now it's played up. A chance for Taylor Hall. He drifts in. Can't get the shot away cleanly. Rebound. Stankoven takes the hit. Hall plays this one around. Too far for Martinook. Not for Slavin. Another sharp angle shot for Slavin. And that's fought off by the shoulder of Carter Hart.
This is unbelievable hockey. Through and through.
Now Stone with a high shoulder for Stankoven. Clean play. And that's going to allow Vegas to get the puck out of the zone. It will bounce, and Bossy comes all the way out to help clear it. Up the boards, Martinook wanted to get it in deep. Can't do it. Vegas pushing back the other way. Drifting forward is Barbashev. He can't handle it, and the Canes will clear.
Good stick from Slavin. They're on Barbashev. Slavin has built a game from the first period to where he's at right now.
Now Andrei Svechnikov making life difficult for Vegas to clear. They'll finally pop one out, put in the neutral zone, settle down. Carlson with it now. William Carlson rolls it into the Cane zone. Gostisbehere plays this one to Miller. They'll roll this one back into the Vegas zone, but it'll be too far. Icing with 7:46 to go in the third period, and a 4-3 Hurricanes lead in game number 4.
You've got this one-goal lead. Here just over 7.5 minutes left. You've got some decently tired bodies you can change off of icing. Gostisbehere and Martinook in particular. I am curious. You've got 2 commercial timeouts left. I'm curious if you're going to go down to 5 defensemen and just spot Nikishin here and there. You can keep this thing 4-3.
Aho with an important defensive zone draw here against Jack Eichel to the left of Brandon Bussey.
2015 draft right here.
And Eichel able to push that one back to Hanifin. Part of the 2015 draft. He'll move it down. Marner out in front. Bussey gets across on Eichel. Rebound, and it's knocked away as Andersson had a look, but Gostisbehere takes it away, and the Canes will gladly take this icing as Martinook fires it back into the Vegas zone. Oh, that is a monster save from Brandon Bussey.
I mean, Goliath, Mitch Marner, A-level elite pass, spinning around and finds Jack Eichel on the back door. And Bussey has got to explode from right to left and make the save on Eichel. I mean, that is his best. Aside from it being his most timely save of the night, no doubt his best.
And another big defensive zone draw. It's won by Vegas. Now Andersson moving through. Bussey with a poke check. Hadn't used that in the arsenal yet. He uses it at the right moment. Rasmus Andersson lost the handle, but Vegas making a push here. Rimmed around the Cane zone. Miller trying to get it out. He can't. Bank back for Chatfield. Now Hanifin jumps in. Kept along the left wing boards. We'll have a meeting of the minds. Back to the point, Eichel. Watched by Ehlers. He'll send it across for Rasmus Andersson. Rink wide pass, Noah Hanifin. He'll take it blue line to blue line for Marner. Marner gets it in deep. Chatfield. He'll whack at it. It's knocked away by Marner, and McNabb up. Now behind the net, Sissons loses the handle. Canes need it clear. And it'll be banked up the boards and out by Slavin, but only to the blue line, and Carlson will reload back into the Cane zone.
This is what we need from Jacob Slavin. I know I said we, but we're all on board.
A Massive play there as he sweeps this one out. And Ehlers will fire this one into the corner in the Vegas zone. McNabb stepped into. Puck finds Dorofeev. He and his good friend Nikishin meet just in front of the center ice line. And this one trickles back into the Canes zone. Walker plays it up. Touched by Robinson. No icing. The clock continues to tick. 6:05 left here in the third period. And a hand pass against Carolina. In a 4-3 lead with 6:02 remaining in the third period at T-Mobile Arena. In game number 4, the Canes have 4 on the board. Vegas has 3. You're listening to the Stanley Cup Final on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Your Harris Teeter grocery haul can earn you savings on gas with our fuel points. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 you spend when you shop with your Vic card on your favorite products, fresh produce, and organic brands. Track your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app and redeem your points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. The more you shop, the more points you earn. It's like getting gas money just for shopping like you normally do. Click to learn more. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Hockey is fast, thrilling, and full of energy, just like the Triangle. For 20 years, Lenovo has called North Carolina home, fueling innovation right here in our community. At Lenovo Center, Lenovo and the Carolina Hurricanes continue to elevate every moment on and off the ice. From the rink to the seats, it's all about power, speed, and connection. Cheer louder, celebrate bigger. The action starts at Lenovo Center. See you there.
6:02 left here in the third period. Thanks to our engineers on site, Ray Regal, one of the best in the business, and Rusty Helzer, who I don't know when he sleeps, who's always at master control. And Trip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here with a call on your Hurricanes Radio Network. We got another TV timeout coming up in under 2 seconds, Trip, but for Carolina right now, a 4-3 lead. What's standing out and what needs to be done?
Well, it's not an under. It's, typically a whistle under 6 minutes to play, but when you're coming out of usually you go to the 1 under 10, that commercial timeout prior to this. So, it's going to go for a minute or so before there's a whistle, but you're going to get another one. So what does it do? It allows both Rod Brindamore and John Tortorella for Rod load up on his defensive guys, and there'll be a timeout probably in there too. But for John Tortorella, it's going to allow him to load up on his offensive guys. So it's when you can really shorten the bench, the fact that you have one more commercial timeout. Jordan Stahl breaks another stick off the draw, but he's got another one.
He now has 45 postseason career goals. With 2 tonight, 7 in the playoffs, 5 here in the Stanley Cup final. He scored in each game. Carolina trying to clear now as Vegas gets the puck in deep. Miller bounces it off the end boards. Jarvis tries to clear, kept in by Vegas. Dorofeev out in front, good stick, and then Ehlers dives to pay the price to knock it back into the Golden Knights territory.
That was Brendan Bussey on the other side. He had the poke check on Rasmus Anderson. There the stick on the centering attempt. His stick has been very effective. You won't get saves for it, but very effective in this period.
Now Marner will be tied up by Blake. Marner hits it with a high stick. Stone touches it, and that'll get us a whistle with 5:09 left here in this third period.
But you haven't hit a minute yet.
It's you played 52 seconds since then, so it doesn't matter because Carolina wins.
I just know it's going too slow.
Exactly. Well, now a chance for Carolina out in front as they'll work this in deep. Svechnikov with it. He'll work it back. Slavin. Canes trying to get this to the side of the net. Svechnikov. His shot blocked by Theodore. He'll clear it out. Marner can't handle the pass. Reloaded. Here's Svechnikov. He'll whip it across the rink. Martinuk. He's going to find Aho with it. Aho fans on his backhand. And that'll allow a chance for Eichel, as Eichel and Marner are playing together here for John Tortorella with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this third period. 4-3 Canes lead.
Yeah, he did that as the game went into overtime at different points for obvious reasons. And then knowing a commercial timeout's coming up, that's where you can load up on your offensive guys, as I mentioned. Icing here to Vegas.
As Miller is back there first, 4:16 remaining in the third. And a 4-3 lead for the Carolina Hurricanes here in Game 4, trying to send this series back to Raleigh, tied at 2.
Boy, they called icing, but now they're going to nullify it, which sends us to the commercial break with the neutral zone draw coming up.
So, 4:16 remaining in the third. Come back for the final minutes of regulation. Carolina with a 1-goal lead over Vegas here in game number 4. You're listening to the Stanley Cup Final on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
Hey, Caniacs! As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, the local team at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses across the Research Triangle. Our families live here and contribute to our communities, so we have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/canes for a free home or business security assessment. That's vectorsecurity.com/canes.
4:16 remaining in the third period, game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Carolina with a 4-3 lead. Alongside Chip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here on your Hurricanes Radio Network as we get ready for what's left of regulation here at T-Mobile Arena, Trip.
Well, you're trying, if you're Rod Brindamore, to figure out how much of this last 4 minutes and 16 seconds you can play Jordan Staal. And you want to play him as much as you can. And you've got the Walker and Miller pairing on the ice against the Sissons line because you're saving Slavin, who's had his best period here in period 3. Chatfield's been good all night. You're saving that pairing for Eichel and Marner, who for John Tortorella are probably coming out next.
Staal waved out of the face-off circle. Ehlers does a great job of tying up William Karlsson. And this will be dumped into the Vegas zone. Theodore will handle it for McNabb. Played into the Kane zone. No icing. Miller's got to get back with Karlsson on his back. He does. Ehlers with it. He'll turn and Ehlers will just flip. We'll see if this checks up.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's Ehlers where he has the willingness with pressure in his own end to hold on to the puck. He has that courage to hold on to the puck when necessary. Great play.
A little further explanation. It was about 3 feet away from an avoidable icing, and instead it keeps the clock moving. And now Aho will jump into the Vegas zone. Tip it away from Rasmus Andersson. Vegas to it. It'll come over the blue line. Chatfield will dump this one back in. Wait for his teammates to tag up. Martinook will drift in. Anderson's pass. Look forward. Chatfield takes away the space on Barbashev, and he'll wrap this around where Martinook can get to it.
I mean, how good has Chatfield been tonight? He gets off. He'll be right back on.
As this is cleared, but it goes off the linesman. Couldn't go in deep. And Vegas trying to make a play. Dorofeev. Pavel Dorofeev. Leading goal scorer in the regular season for Vegas. They'll let Hurdle pick it up. Back for Theodore. Theodore's shot kicked away. Rebound was there. Excellent stick by Svechnikov. Canes can't clear. Now they do. Stankoven takes the body. Will flip one. Will it roll on to Hart? It will. No icing. 2:35 left here in regulation. Carolina, 4-3 lead trying to send this series back to Raleigh, tied at 2.
As soon as Vegas enters the Carolina zone, hopefully not for a while, you got to think that John Tortorella will point to Carter Hart. He's already up on the bench, is Tortorella.
Slavin with a good play in the neutral zone, forcing Vegas back, but now Eichel making a play. Right back to Slavin. He'll clear it out. Along the boards, Hannafin. He'll fight for it with Jarvis. Knocked back for Eichel. Eichel watched by Stahl. Now this will be deflected, and Bussey will catch it.
Keep it moving.
He's going to hang on and get a whistle with 1:59 remaining here in the third period. And a big offensive zone draw coming up for Vegas. Carolina needs to win a D-zone draw as Hart has made his way to the bench for the extra attacker for the Golden Knights.
I don't think John Tortorella will call it. He is going to call his timeout. I would have if I was Bussey. He caught it. Slavin was going to be the first guy back. I would have kept it moving to avoid this defensive zone draw. He had a couple of those situations at the beginning of the second overtime before Vegas scored on Saturday. If that's the biggest chink in his armor, that's okay. But I would have liked to have seen him, especially the way Slavin is now playing in this third period. I would have liked to have seen him drop that puck to Slavin's stick, allow Jacob Slavin to do his thing. That's gone now. You're going to have to deal with a defensive zone draw. Question is, Mike, if Stahl's on the ice, will it be on Jordan Stahl's power side to the left of Brandon Bussey? You hope it is.
Well, that is the one place where you get the timeout, you can keep Stahl on the ice. He was on the ice for that shift when it was flipped in. So you understand why John Tortorella calls it, so he can keep his big boys on the ice with Eichel, Stone, and Marner. But this is the biggest draw of the game with 1:59 left.
Yeah, and it's not going to be on Jordan Stahl's power side. So this is, we often talk about it, he is at a disadvantage here in the face-off circle to Tomas Hertl. This is typically when Jordan Stahl, when he doesn't have the leverage of the top of his stick, this is when he tries to use that left skate to time it perfectly and win the faceoff on this side of the rink in these situations.
So it will be Hertl versus Stahl to the right of Brandon Bussey. And it'll come free. Eichel gets to the puck and wires it over the top of Bussey's net. Eichel had it right there, a clear path, and just missed. Now Stone's pass out in front. That's knocked away. Carolina with a chance to clear. They'll get it out into the Vegas zone. We're all the way back is Dorofeev to get it.
Good clear from Ehlers. He's made a couple of big-time defensive plays here late.
Now Vegas back on the puck. Chipped in off the boards. Chatfield's going to get to it. Hard rim around. This one will be cleared. It will come back, although a hustling play here for Jarvis, but they're going to give the icing call as Theodore was hustling just at the same pace. So 1:26 remaining here in the third period, and another defensive zone draw for Carolina with the empty net for Vegas, the other side of the rink.
Eichel had a great day. He tried to go top cheese. He dove in, and with his reach just inside the circle on the inside side of the rink, he went backhand, forehand, just missed.
Nobody's changed, so no advantage as far as fatigue goes. Stahl against Hertl again. Batted to the boards. Marner will get to it. Mitch Marner plays it behind the net. He'll get it right back. He'll hand this one off. It's Stone behind the net. Slavin, his stick, gets to the pass, still finds its way to Marner. Work back, right point, Eichel. Turning with it's Theodore. Theodore shot through traffic. Bussey gets a piece. Loose puck. Still to the side of the net of Bussey. A chance to clear. It bounces out, and it's going into the empty net. Bingo! Carolina has gone up. Nikolai Ehlers is the one who gets the bounce with 54.8, and it's 5-3 Carolina. Yes, Trip Tracy, there is an empty net goal in Vegas.
Nikolai Ehlers couldn't be more deserving of a recipient. He made 3 or 4 critical, composed defensive plays here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. And that puck just had huge Caniac eyes. The way that it spindled, it looked like it was going to be icing, and it kept working itself from the outside of the rink along the benches towards the target. And it ends up going essentially right into the middle of the net. But Ehlers, my gosh, has he been sterling defensively here late.
All right, with 54 seconds to go, Empty net still for Vegas. And the way this series has gone, in the words of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over.
You're right, but Yogi Berra, God rest his soul, is a huge Caniac.
Now a chance for Vegas. Dorofeev into the Kane zone. Knocked away by Walker. Another empty net. Flipped to the blue line for Vegas. 30 seconds to go here in the third period. Hurdle with it now. Into the Kane zone. Knocked back. Offsides. Oh, Theodore, great job to keep it in. Thought he was going to roll it back in. Doesn't. 18 seconds left. Carolina gaps up. This will be an icing on the Vegas Golden Knights. Bring the puck all the way back into the Vegas zone with 14.2. We're that far away from going back to Raleigh. Tied at 2 in the Stanley Cup final.
Well, this is going to send the Golden Knight fans to the exits, and you will be going back. Grabbing back, snatching back. Home ice advantage led by your captain with 5 goals in 4 games. You could never even begin to put a value on what he means to this Hurricanes group. What an effort.
Now this best of 7 is about to become a best of 3. As Carolina wins the draw, they'll roll it back in. 5 seconds left here at T-Mobile Arena. Brandon Bussey, his first ever playoff start, will be a win in the Stanley Cup final in Game 4. And we're headed back to Raleigh, tied at 2. Canes with a 5-3 win in game number 4.
You know, now that it got interesting after you had the 2-0 and 3-1 lead, the fact that Vegas pushed back when no lead has been safe in this series, and that you end up having to win it in the third period, that makes it more satisfying. You know, before a quick turnaround, going back to your building, and now you've restored home ice advantage, Mike. Brandon Bussey made some saves in the third period that are the saves you need to win hockey games. He got the help of Iron. Vegas had the only power play of the third period. But Jordan Staal, who, hey, I know the whole hockey world, and we are far from determining who would be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. And a lot of people would probably say that Mitch Marner would be, regardless of the winning team. But Jordan Staal, when you look at beyond his 5 goals, dominating night in the face-off circle, his performance has been ridiculous. You know, you and I were going to film our video at the war table this morning, to talk about this being a war of attrition, and we saw Jordan.
Yep.
Henry and Linda, his parents, they were going for a morning walk. And my gosh, the effort that he has had in his late 30s. He looks fresher than he did in his mid-20s. And that is the strongest form of leadership that you can ever imagine. The winning goal, he tries to fire it on his forehand. He toe picks it with his heels. He's going down to the ice. The athletic play that he made to finish it going on his backhand, not his forehand. That's your game winner. That's his second of 2. The first, by the way, when the booth camera comes out, you Incredible Hulked me. You ripped the sleeve on a very nice suit coat that has served me well, but I've never been happier to have the rip. You called a great win. You called a gem of a game. And now this team, I guarantee you, they might celebrate for 10 minutes. They have had to scratch and claw to get their home ice back. Sellout crowd watching at Lenovo tonight. It's going to be raucous. Brandon Bussey, what he did in the third period. He looked composed. He got tremendous defense. I'm going to mention one more guy, aside from Ehlers deserving the empty netter because of how composed and good he was defensively.